Sorry, team. Running slightly behind here. Trying to get everything set up just in time. Give me just 1 second. Get this screen on so we can see you all. Hope you're doing good. Hopefully some of you caught that move yesterday afternoon that we talked about before I left stream. We caught it in Discord. It was beautiful. And then the move that we wanted today has happened overnight. So we're just going to have to wait to see if we can get it going. Okay, here we go. You're all set up. All right, so overnight what we're seeing, well, another outside bar. All right, so we've gone inside to outside yesterday, retested that Monday low, failed that Monday low as expected, and we've come down into current value area low and the daily Bollinger. So we don't really want to be short down here, but we do want to think about short pressure on the market today, back towards sort of 400 and or maybe even below 400 would be great. All right, so we're looking to retest this overnight low today. Would be the easiest trade if the market's going to be kind. If we zoom in here, we can see we're getting very tight. 5 days now across the 20-day, right? And it's just about to cross the 5-day, the 50-day. And we might, all right, if there's continued pressure and we get continued war news, at the moment we're in sort of one of these, all right? But if we start breaking down under here, that break that we've been talking about for a while becomes possible because we're very thin in here, all right? We're very, very thin down here. I'd love to see a retest of this before Q4 would be great, and then a bid up Q4. That would be a really, really, really nice, sensible, easy move for us to think about, all right? It'd be really, really good. Okay, so let's get into the hourlies and have a look at what's going on and what we might be able to look for and what price we can lean on. All right, so we come back towards the hourlies. We're going to check out value, zoom this up. All right, you can see last night I was talking to the team about this breakdown move happening. All right, so we built out liquidity yesterday, and eventually last night they did that move. Eventually they've come down, almost tagged this box. Newsletter levels being hit. So what are we looking for? We can see the supply now. We're going to keep it super, super simple. Previous day's value area low is right here at 325. All right, so we've got to stay heavy versus 325. That's the first thing to think about. All right, if we think about this that we built yesterday, we'd like to reject that, wouldn't we? We have a low volume node here overnight. I'd say 282 to 230 looks pretty good. We can pull this up a bit, maybe make it a bit more extreme in here. All right, looks pretty good. So we'd like to see some form of rejection there. So what would be really nice this morning is an exuberant move up, like we always look for, something where bulls come flying in, expecting a reclaim, and have that door shut on them. All right, if that door's shut, we're going to respect these moves on the way down. All right, so if we manage to get short, 325, 330, anywhere up there, maybe it pokes above, fails, comes back under and fails, we're going to look for about a 200-point move if possible. We'll scalp down on the way, but protect some at 100. If we break 100, which we're going to test 29,000. If we break that, we're coming into this block. All right, now the daily Bollinger Band is right here at the top of this. We want to respect that. If we zoom right the way down, all right, the bottom of this are the lows from that consolidation we're in, which go back to sort of the 9th. Is it the 9th? Yeah, the 9th of June. All right, so in here we want to be covering most of our money. If we get there, we might not get there, folks. All right, we might not get there. It might be, all right, the options are they might hold that and come back up, which is why we will protect some of our profit. Now, what if that doesn't happen and we get the taco trade? Well, then we're going to have to wait to find acceptance back inside value. I do not want to be long unless we're going to find acceptance back up here and use these low volume nodes then as a potential area to bid out of, to come back up here, right? And that would be trading yesterday's value, that would be, right? So the target would then be sort of 600 to the top side. And otherwise, I'm not thinking about long. There's no reason to think about a long. Thinking about a gap and go short all the time, we're undervalued. It's that simple. If we think about gamma, right, we're coming into neutral zone. I'd like to see this reject, basically. We're coming right into it. It's very simple, right? I'd like to see this high volume level reject for this retest of this low. Otherwise, we're in danger of one of these. All right, and we can think about playing that. That would probably be my least favorite trade today, given the risk assessment of what's happened underneath. But you know, we'll trade what's in front of us. But at the moment, I'd like to be more thinking about leaning short side on this where possible. All right, lower time frame. We should mark this out, really. Let's just mark this out because this is going to be Globex value area low. Let's just make sure that's marked out. We can leave point of control up here. So yeah, if we do get short, we definitely need to cover some into 100. I'm going to remove this now. We're going to have a look at some of the other indexes and what's going on right now. All right, ES trying to recover a little bit here. We can move one of these down into here. And I wouldn't give too much credence to this right now. Right, same thing on ES. You'll be looking for failures. And I'd be very, very careful about this holding. We can draw this out again. These are probably some of your cover points early in the day. All right, you want the same kind of thing on ES. All right, you want a rejection in front of 530. Ideally, you don't want it to get that high, but some form of rejection up here, even if it's here now, right? And your covers are down here towards 500, whole number, underneath 500, 95s. And then if we get a backside move under that, then you're looking for pressure, continued pressure down. All right, very simple. Just stay leaning on ES until it starts to recover some of these. That's when you'd have to think that the market's shifting. I'd also say watch your sizing today. We're very, very volatile. All right, SPY. Climbing back up. Where's the pivot? I'd say here. All right, as long as we're sell side, 45 to 46. All right, if they want to squeeze this at the open, it's even better. Let them squeeze it. We'll sell it back in. All right, we're going to ignore this. That's been traded through now. QQQ is probably the cleanest looking chart right now. Remove this. Clean this up a little bit. All right, you can see so clearly the pivots. It's very, very obvious where the pivots are right now. All right, right here, where we broke down from, we want to sell. All right, that's where we're looking to sell. All right, and we look to cover some into probably somewhere around here. All right, so you might already be short. It's starting to play out while we're talking. All right, that's a failure to break higher. That's a quite clear failure to break higher here. And if you see the backside of this move, it's probably been 3 drives. Yeah, like at least. All right, 1, 2, 3, fail breakout. This looks like backside. You're looking for that move down. It's very simple. All right, you're looking for the move down into 702s, somewhere down there on the Qs. Okay, why is this moving? Well, CL obviously starting to break out. We talked about it filled its gap a couple of days ago. If we go to a daily, right, we filled this gap down here. There's an old gap down here, which we filled. We're starting to drive upside. We got a little stuck here this morning at 74s. All right, not surprising. If we find acceptance inside of the 74s, we're going to come drive up to 85s. This is all going to depend on what's going on in Iran. All right, if this ceasefire is over, which it clearly is, we start bombing again, all right, then we can see this move. If the taco trade happens, then we can see relief and then sold back into, maybe we come and fill all the way down here. I don't know, but that's where we're at, folks. All right, that's where we're at. VIX, right, volatility moving back upside. Unsurprisingly, it's getting the door closed on it at the moment. Let's see if they hold bids over 17 and push back up to 18s and 20s if they do get going. Dixie as well. Surprise, surprise. All right, what did we say? As long as it holds above here, all right, we expect this pressure on the Dixie to start happening. All right, big consolidation for basically a year. Breakout, pullback, hold, flag now. If they break, we're going 103. That will cause downside pressure on the market. All right, so we're watching that very, very carefully. And that will also, right, potentially cause downside pressure on gold, all right, which we're starting to see as well. So just understand that trade. All right, let's have a look. MAG, all right, getting slammed a little bit off this news, unsurprisingly. All right, pulling back fairly aggressively in MAG land. All right, SOXL has been hit, undercut overnight. It all depends how we're going to act here this morning at this VWAP. We'd like to see pressure on this. We'd love to go in unison if we're going to go into a sell today. IGV, same story. All right, big gap down there in software. If we're going to sell, all right, we'd like everything to get in alignment. We want MAG and semis and software to be in a sell. And the only one that we can allow really to go up today, obviously, would be energy, which would make sense, wouldn't it? More defensive plays and energy going up. All right. Individual names, MAG, Apple, all right, peak formation, failing to reclaim here, coming back down to earth, all right, back down into this block. And you can see 305 is where they're trying to bring it down to, but we are into some pivots here. We just have to see how they operate. On Apple, it's already closed its gap. Amazon clawing back up. This is a gap down still, though, on Amazon, all right, as long as it's under, I'd say, 45s, all right, sell pressure can continue. Goog, Sell pressure continuing there, gap down. So again, same kind of story. As long as it's under this pivot, all right, we're looking for sell pressure to continue. Meta, that's actually stronger than the others. Still gapping down, but that's much, much stronger off that level. All right, it's a big flush. I would still look for sell side. Maybe it gap fills. That would be incredible if it does. Still look for sell side on that until it reclaims. Microsoft, all right, that's a gap and crap so far, and I think you're going to get an undercut down here. So I'd be covering some if you're short on that 380s. We'll see if they can hold it bid at 380s. If they can't, right, if this war news scares the whole market, right, these swings, we're going to have to reconsider lower prices on them as always. Be adaptable. Nvidia should be trading with semis, which it is. So, you know, just holding inside of here, you can see this has been walk down, walk down, walk down, walk down. That is a higher low here, but we are now consolidating in this range. And then Tesla selling off versus 420. All right, there's the key level, the magic number we talk about all the time on stream. Don't know why, don't ask me why. Sell through, back test, 3 drives, fails, all the way back down we go. It's trying to find a bid down here now. So I would be, potentially it comes up towards 407. All right, and I'll be looking for a pain point at 407 back down towards the lows there. All right, so that's got you covered in what's going on in the broader market. Obviously, anything that's had relative weakness, if we are going to go back to war, all right, or find things exacerbated over there, relative weakness is likely to get hit the hardest. Just understand that. So if we've been bidding in stuff with relative weakness, we need to be adaptable to it because things can change very, very quickly. All right, they can change quickly. Okay, let's see. We're going to have to watch headlines today as well, folks, are going to be important. All right, we've got wholesale inventories today at 10, Fed minutes at 2. That will be interesting, Fed minutes at 2. Obviously, it'll be the first Fed minutes we've had since the new Fed, since the new chair. And we're just going to have to see what happens after that. Let me just get the news blotter out. I feel like it's going to become important today. Lots of comments are going to come out through the day, and let's already see. Trump says might take control of Iraq. Okay, this is not good. All right, so fairly aggressive stance on stuff at the moment. All right, how long we got? Not long until the open. Watch your volatility here, folks. All right, I'm looking for pops to fail to sell into as long as we're under sort of 325s. All right, as long as we're under here, I'll be looking for pops to sell into this morning. I'm not looking to get long unless we reclaim value. It's very simple. Can we get a little drawing on here so I can see the demand block? There we go, Ninja. Perfect. All right. Good luck, everybody. You've got about 20 seconds here or so. Hopefully we get some alignment. If we reclaim value, we can reassess. All right, if we reclaim this, we'll reassess the market. Otherwise, looking for a drive up to be sold into and see if we can get a backside move. Here's the drive up. Big buyer stuck up there at 250s. Watching that very carefully in case they're going to sell versus that or if they're going to let it through to come higher. And they come. 250 tapped into again. If they get through this, they're going to look for 300 and 325s, and that's when it's going to really perk my interest. This previous week low up here. Bookmap already struggling to catch up. Really struggling to catch up with the liquidity here. Feel a bit blind here. Here it comes back on. Let's see if they can get up to 300 and what they're going to do. 300 to 325. Doubt they get a gap fill to 400. All right, failing there again. Waiting to see if we see failed follow through here. They're still trying to lift it to 300 at the moment. Get some volume on here. All right, 250 gamma level. All right, might put a little piece on here versus 250 if we fail this next attempt. Watching carefully. A lot of big buyers there. Don't want to be early. Still holding for now. Okay, maybe they want 300s first. Come on, trading Bookmap. Please don't do this morning. Let's give Alex some nice reads so we can read order flow, shall we? Let's not pause. All right, they're going for threes, so watching carefully here for threes to 325s. SOXL flying back upside, so it's trying to clean out towards 170, so we've got to be careful here. It's all about these semis again. This morning, IGV holding a bid, but semis are the ones really ripping. They might want to come 170. So watching this as we approach 300 to 325 and see if we reject up here. If we reclaim, we can't be shorting. It's very simple. If we reclaim value here, which we're at right now, we cannot be shorting because they will want to close the gap. So watching very, very, very carefully up here. Failing into value so far. All right, I've got a little piece on versus value. We'll see if we can trade back down under 80 now. That is the point at which we cannot let it get above. If it comes above there, it will go for gap fill. I'm short versus value at the moment on that extension. I will not add in until I see failed follow through. And my stop very simply is value. When they trade through this, we go PDC. Get me in so far. It's front side, but it's small size. Kept me in by a tick. Kept me in by a tick. All right, we need to see breakdown under 91s here. And then the real heaviness will come under 250, not beforehand. Still absorbing here for now at 94s. We need to see breakdown under 91s. There's liquidity up to 350. I'm slightly concerned about if they want to lift it. This is looking better now. All right. Let's see now if we get failed follow through and we can start adding into this and get some size on if they start rejecting 300 here. So Excel failing in front of 170, which is good. I will only add, if we reject 300 here, I'll add. Nope, no ads. About to take a break even if we pop up. Stop now, move to 320. All right. Out now. And I'll have another go. Oh, don't give me the Alex trade, for goodness sake. I'll have another go up here if it sets up. So Excel looks like it wants 170 to 172 at the moment. Once that finishes peaking out, I think this thing's ready. Oh no, it's the Alex trade. Oh dearie dear. Dearie dearie dear. Don't do this. I'll remove this. And I'm going to remove this for a second. Right, if we get through this, we can't short because it would come 400. That's why my risk was up at value. I should have left it where it was. There is liquidity here up to 350 at the moment that they're building. So maybe they do look above and fail. I'll only short outside of value. I'm not going to short up here. Feels close. It's just whether they need to clean 350 first. This is all about the semis. They're trying to get to 172s. So semis bidding very, very aggressively here at the moment. Everything else is not. Mag got slammed. SOXL is flat. It's just semiconductors, guys. That's all it is. They're pushing for that 172s at the moment. It's semis trying to lift this market back up to close the gap by the looks of it. All right, there's the poke above. So it might come all the way for gap fill. We can't short in this region here. You do not short if we hold value. You can short against value. You can short under value. You don't short inside. There's a failure to break again. Semis hit 170. I just wonder if they want 172 first before they collapse. I'm very tempted to try and get back in this same trade here. It's amazing the strength of semiconductors, honestly. You know, just close your eyes and bid. It doesn't matter. It's crazy. Anything can go on in the world and those things can keep trying to reclaim. All right, here it goes upside. Still failing up here at value. All right, 172 tag net semis. I want to see semis fail and us fail here. Very important semis fail here if we're going to short this. All right, I'm going to put a piece back on here if we start. Yeah, the semis are failing. All right, I'm back in short side here versus value again. Semiconductors tagged to 172, instantly down to 169, and here comes the fails. All right, so let's see now. I want to add versus 300 if possible for a breakdown to 259 and then see if we can get really washy. I don't want this low volume node to keep absorbing here. Starting to try and add versus 300 here. Come on. Don't want to build a wedge here. Don't be annoying. Just break down. All right, semi's looking better. Better, 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 much better. Beautiful. Here we go, folks. We're in. This is looking great. All right, low volume node. We'd like to trade under 260, 250 and start puking now. We don't want this to hold here. Very, very volatile. Be very careful. These wicks are nasty. They're moving very quick. The bid there at 60 is trying to hold this value for the session. Back to my average here at 300 now. What a bastard. Really? You need more excess? I don't think you do. You don't. You don't need more excess up here. Don't be annoying. Here we go. Good. Much better. Much better. All right, seller getting a little caught here at 60s. I try not to cover any here because I think big trade in here. If you want to cover some into here, it does make sense. I'm trying to hold my nerve here for a bigger breakdown. Semis coming into PDC. I'd want those to go red on the session. If you want to cover some here, it's up to you. You can. It makes sense too. I'm desperately trying to hold my nerve for a bigger breakdown. I might regret it. Come on. We need to sell under this big block at 50. Once we get under 250, we can start rotating to New York Open and down into here. This is our cover point, really. So it's about 200 points up for grabs here if we can trade under 250. But 300 has to stay heavy. Oof. Oofa. All right, out. Added into it as well. Out of that, let it peak. Well, they're not finding acceptance inside of value. And semis have pulled right back down to PDC and found a bid, which is not helping. And are now just stuck in no man's land. Mags failed its opening drive of the day. And software is flat, is not moving. So it's just semiconductors and this buyer exhaustion up here. I wonder if we just need to gap fill. Are they desperate to gap fill here? It looks like it. I won't be short up here inside of value, folks. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to short inside value. I will not do it. It might be that ES needs 530 here. Yeah, semiconductors, man. It's all on this again, all right? Everything else is bleeding. And these are just like, hold my beer, we're going big green. All right, this is what's doing the move. All right, it certainly isn't this, and it certainly isn't this. It's just semis to make our life extra hard. But there we go. That's the market right now. Get zoomed in here. All right, big sellers up here. Not what you want to see. I don't think the auction's finished. They obviously want the gap, which is the yellow line on the screen. So no shorts up here. If they hold value now, I can't rule this out. All right, I cannot rule out this move here now. We have to be aware of that. I will happily short under this, but if we hold this, we can rotate value from yesterday, which would be absolutely insane. But this market has been pretty insane. You tried to hold, yeah. I tried to hold. Like I said, if you wanted to cover some, you could. I also tried to hold, mate. I tried to hold for the move. All right, gap fill coming up. Yes, looks like it wants more. Qs have filled the gap. SOXL into previous day high. All right, auction at the top looking a little bit better here. Again, we can't really be sell side now until we come back under value. And I will consider it. If we let go of value, I'll consider it, right? If we let go of this. Big seller coming in here again. Big buyer coming in here. Some huge orders coming through the tape here. If we come under 25, I'll get short again. So here's the move back to value. Same play. If they bid this, like I said, they can rotate yesterday's values. What we need to be aware of today. If we come back under this, I will look for sales back down the same play. If we hold this, I don't think I want to be a buyer today and rotate yesterday's value. It feels way too high risk given what's gone on. But semi's failing, previous day high again. I'm watching this again for the collapse again. Here's value again. Buyer now stuck at 350 and 378s. So here's the 350 test. If they get through here, they're going to go 378s. Software starting to get hit. Semiconductors looking for previous day high break again. So rotation is 50 to 78 at the moment. Sell side will become available as we lose value, not before. So watching this. If we reject 50 and we start losing value, it's a really good sign. Very important level here. Just trying to be patient. Trying to be patient. So close. It's just semiconductors, man. When are you going to be done? They're pushing the previous day high at the moment. 72s. The danger is if they get through there, the next level is 200. Yeah, there's no gamma until 200. It's fucking wild. It'll be a giant squeeze. Like I said, 50s to 78s is the rotation at the moment up here. Can't be short side until we let go of value, until we come back under this blue line. And even then, we've got to be careful with how they built out liquidity now. If they're going to rotate the whole of yesterday's value, we're going to come right up for 500s, which is wild. But it's possible. We can't rule that out. Trying to time it and wait for semis to fail here. Rest of the market's heavy. Tesla 1.12% down, Microsoft 1.11% down, Meta 2.16% down, Google 0.5% down, Amazon 0.75% down, Apple 1% down. It's just the chips. It's just the chips. We've got divergence. Waiting for these to peak out. All right, here goes semis through 172. So they're starting to break out over previous day high. Now, this they can potentially come up to 180 now. And if they get through 180, there's a gap fill up to 197-ish, 195 and 197, and then 200 gamma. That's the danger. If we're going to hold value today, if you're bidding this, I understand you looking for that move now. If we're going to rotate yesterday's value, where they're going to look to hold 330 and come all the way up here, which is, I mean, it's kind of insane given the news, but there we go. It's possible. And here's your gap fill. And this is value area low on the current week. So for me, I'm not looking for longs today. I can see the play, but I really don't want to play rotational long in this market. I feel like bulls will get caught somewhere soon and we'll start melting. No, I don't see 175 as big resistance. Not really. Like, it's a pre-market level, but it's not that much there, mate. It's pretty light on vol. I see yesterday rejected 180s a few times, so 175 to 180s. But you know, this thing likes to run, so kind of let it peak out and do what it wants. Through 175 already now. Did anyone buy value? Is anyone brave enough to buy previous day value area low? Right, rejecting PDC, rejecting current week value area low. It's a good sign. I'm still focused on the short here. Just want to be very careful. Do not want to be front side. If Soxel comes back under 172, we're in. We're in with a shot. Software, new lower day and bleeding. Equal weighted mag, holding on, but still heavily red. Not finding a bid. Still gently grinding up here. We need backside of this move. We really need it under all of this. It's tempting to put a feeler on here, but it's very risky. The point control, we're starting to build out liquidity up here. I guess if we lose 58s, I'll be interested in feeler. Certainly under 52s, I'm interested in a feeler early. Here's a 52 check. Still absorbing there. Yeah, still a bid at 50s. $72 is being tested now on SOXL. I'm looking to get a feeler on here, guys. All right, I'm short here, small size, and I will add underneath value area low. Need us to break under this and stay heavy. Here we go. Don't bid it. Don't bid it because I want to add. Okay, here we go, folks. We'd like to get heavy here, please. We don't want this bid back up, and we want to stay heavy versus 50s now, and we want to start adding into this for a wash all the way down. We have to respect this now, the volume, but if we start breaking under 286s, then I'm looking to come all the way down. We can cover some here if you want. I'm going to wait. I'm looking for a bigger trade here because we're trading outside. Here we go. So second attempt today might work here. So we want to stay heavy versus 350, ideally heavy versus 325s here. And we're looking to trade lows. SOXL under 172s at 170. We'd like that to come back down towards 165. We're looking so much better here, folks. This is way better. Way, way, way better now. All right, so we want them to stay heavy here now. All pops to fail. So this pop here needs to fail. We don't want a 350 reclaim. Adding into this, small size. We'll cut at 352. That's where the buyer is. So added on that pop. And we need a new low here in this leg. Underneath all this ideally. And I'll wash right back down looking for this move here. Really good. Beautiful. Right. And then that failed down to here, please. I'm trying to hold my nerve here because I think there's a big trade. You can cover some here if you want into value area low for the day, which we just tapped. I missed my fill. I'm trying to hold my size and my nerve to go lower. Come on, man. Don't do me dirty. Didn't get my 283 fill. Coming back up to my entry here. SOXL finding a bid. Need that to reject 172s here. Very important it rejects 172s here. All right, out. Fuck me, mate. Made good money on that, but give some back. Oh my God, you couldn't fill me down there, could you, to get my partial off? I'll lean on this again for the same trade. I made really good money on that, but because I added heavy for the break, but it's not giving me the full move yet. Value area high for the session being respected. It still looks like a good short here. Okay, that wick was way higher than we wanted, so it's run me out at 350s. The problem is that semis are holding on this 170 to 172 block. They're not breaking down and making a lower low. They are absorbing sell pressure at the moment. Through the 172 again, they go. If they make a new high here, this market is going to absolutely rip on a short squeeze. So we need it to reject 172s here. I will look for the short again if we can come back under 172s and this thing can fail. So we just want starting to fail 150 here, which is, sorry, 350s here on NQ, which is good. So I want to get back in short side here. 172 fail here on semis possibly. No, back through 172s. You know, you dirty dog semiconductors. Just fuck off for a day, will you? Give it a rest. Fucking divergence doing my nut in the last 2 months. Through 72s, up towards higher day they go. Semiconductors, hold my beer. They want a short squeeze. IGV getting slammed. Mag near low of day. Very whippy up there above the 350. So they can't find acceptance to increase value. Once semis are done, this thing's cooked. It's the only thing holding up. Everything else is breaking down. Candles are insane. Yes, the volatility. It's volatility. We talked about it. You're going to have much higher volatility today. Move semis into a lower time frame so we can just see here. Yeah, they're grinding higher, man. The semiconductors are trying to grind higher here. They've got to come under previous day high. Otherwise, it's very, very risky. Mag breaking down here. SOXL about to take out pre-market low. Everything's melting other than these fucking semiconductors. I'm watching this same stuff. We're starting to see constant rejection at 350 here in NQ, which is good. Very tempted to get another piece, have another go at this. Into this same level again. Might put a small size on at 330 here if it don't break without me, please. Don't do it now. Oh, here comes a semiconductor puke. Okay, any pop that fails here in towards 20s. I was a seller here. All right, I'm in. They're starting to slam this. I'm going to add versus 320s. Might be my final go at it. Need them to stop absorbing here and just break lower. And I'll add on breaks under 84s potentially as well. Semis, please fuck off with these games. Please. You're starting to drive me mad. All right, adding here. Need a breakdown now. Good. We need follow through now. Seriously, stop. Starting to exhaust me with this chop. Please, just give me follow through. Stop playing the games. Here we come. Down, down, Down here, please. Down here, please. Here we go. Here we go. All right, thank you. All right, there is an absorber here under 300. I've covered a little piece here because this keeps trying to absorb. Once he's gone, we're going to see this thing melt. There is someone on the tape trying to hold 300 up. Once that's gone, we should get a really nice wash. Mate, he's gobbling up 290s right now and 300. Here he comes on the tape. Come on. He's still here gobbling 300, folks. Be careful. Reduced my size, paid myself some money. And here he comes trying to gobble it back upside. He's stuck. He's stuck, probably stuck up top. So trying to get an out at 350. I've cut this again here. I don't know if I can have another shot at this. This is third attempt. I'm green on it, but it's very, very hard here to make money. Back to 350s. They can't find acceptance over 370s at the moment. And IGV trying to find that bid back up now. Timing's off now. Now that IGV sold, MAG sold, semis held up. The moment they just made a new low, IGV found a bid, MAG found a bid, and now we can't short because the move should have come and didn't, and now we have to wait again. It should have gone then. They had the chance to do it then. Fucking frustrating when they do this shit. There's a big day in here if I can keep my cool. There's a 5-figure day in here if I can keep my cool. It's this mother clucker. This thing will not fucking go away. And the danger is if we break here, right? There's so much room. There is so much room to fill this gap. 180 is possible. This is the danger. That is the danger right now, I'd say. Won't fight this if it wants to do that move. All right, big seller at high day. Not convinced the high is in with that. Do I think they cheated Egypt when they took away the goal? Yes. Do I think it was a foul? Yes. It was probably a foul. Did it matter once they broke all the way down the field? No. Should the goal standard? Yes. Did that cause problems? Yes. Should Egypt's goal, should Argentina's goal have been pulled back? No. Was that a foul? No. Did Salah dive? Yeah, he did. Did the other guy dive? Yeah, they both dived, guys. Unfortunately, being neutral here, I wanted Egypt to win, but you know, if they hadn't been rolling around on the floor, there wouldn't have been a breakaway goal, and there has to be some admission there of fault. Coffee, please. All right, we're still failing. We're just rotating this big D shape up here now, which is, oh, don't move that. The worst thing possible. It's not what you want to see. The semis look like they're trying to gap fill. They're attempting to. So rotating the D. I will short again under 230. Like I said, I will undervalue underneath this. I will start trying to get short. Until then, I'm just going to let this chop the D for a little bit. Already already taken some break evens there. I am actually up on the day, but not as much as I was. I get back about $2,000. So let's see if we can get under 325s here or not. Yeah, it's brutal because of the divergence, guys. All right, MAG just made a new low of day. Semis are trying to break out to the high. It's divergence, right, causing all of this, making it very, very hard to trade it. We're not in unison. No, I'm good. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. Why are semis holding up? Well, because technically they came down to an area that was too cheap. That's why, really. All right, if we think about it, like they'd already done a huge puke, all right, of 50%. So they're finding a bid after pulling back. Sorry, I've got to come here. All right, so they're bidding up to try and fill this gap. It's just a technical bid. That's why. It's just a timing thing. It's unfortunate. You close that door for me, Jess? No? All right. Oh, no. Don't do it when I close the door. All right, I'm still focused on the short side here, if and when it comes. All right, if and when it comes. It's got nothing to do with setting algos to buy on the drops like that. We're already back at current week's value area low, mate. All right, we've already done the buyback. All right, mate, we've already done the buyback. It's already happened. We're stop. Okay, let's see. Big buyer coming in here. I think he'll get punished. So let's see if pops start to fail. When are they ready? Semis under previous day's high. So will they let go of this on semis? Let's see if we can get short again here. Have another go versus value. If they're going to reject. Don't like that unfinished auction left at 340. Still, there's this bidder here. I'm short again now, small size, just in case we start going without me. And then we can start. If this bidder pulls, we can start moving lower. I want to trade under 86s, really. Don't want everything to keep being absorbed. Semis starting to let go of previous day highs. Semis, pops fell 172 would be good. And then if they trade under 170, it would be really good. I'm short here again versus value. Coming to value rate low. We just need it value rate low to expand it lower. And then trades down into here and we start covering. Don't want to keep churning this. It's looking a bit better now. If pops start to fail, it's looking much better. Watching semis to see if they reject 172s now. So from here to 350 kind of needs to be sell side. Okay, put piece more on there, like that. Like what I'm seeing there. Need to see a breakdown here and soon though. Oh, semis, stop. Stop. You just did the move. I look back and you're back there again at 72s. Go away. Come on. Go away. Mag trying to find a bid. Got to be careful. Come on. All right, looking for 290s and under ideally. And then see if we can wash. Seriously. Come on. Oh, I'm starting to lose my patience. I'm starting to lose my patience. This guy at 300 needs to fuck off. Once he's gone, this will be really fun. Can you just go away, please, Donald? I'm going to call you Donald. Holding it up at 300 and just below. Can you just go away? Can you stop bidding here non-stop? Thank you, please. Right, semis letting go. Well under 172 now, breaking down to 170. If 170 breaks down, we get lower low and we start going. And of course, while this is happening, we're seeing Mag try and bid back into range. Yes, obviously. Obviously, we're just going to diverge. Fuck me. Trying to keep a cool head here. I know there's a big trade in here if I can keep a cool head and keep my size small and be aggressive when we go, not beforehand. Still holding value here. IGV bidding up, MAG bidding up, semis into 170. So, fuck me. ES looking for high of day. All right, I'm going to take this off, basically flat on that trade and wait again. It feels so close. It's just like yesterday afternoon. I'd almost prefer this to blow out higher now. Semi's coming for 170s. This is close, guys. If this breaks 170s, this thing's could be cooked. All right, I'm back in again here for this breakdown. 170 check here, semis. This is key. IGV trying to break out of its range. MAG trying to do the same. We need those to reject and semis to come under 170. 170 check right here, right now. This is important. Be flexible and be small with your size. Do not add into losers. Okay, we only get size on when we start to break. Still this buyer here trying to absorb 300 and just below. Once he goes, I think we're in for a nice move. They're bidding 170 at the moment, semis. Come on, man. Okay, rejection MAG. Come on. Wiki wiki. ES wants to close its gap. Can't get alignment. Market won't give alignment right now. Back to entry. Okay, flashback under entry. I'm right here at value. Looking a little bit better, but it looks dicey, man. If we can't break down lower and this buyer stays here all day, we can't really do much. Come on. I'm not going to add until we break down lower, get under all these players. And we're just not doing it. We're not even testing 300 at the moment. Come on. No, he's still here. Now he's trying to bid 12s. Can we come under him, please, market? Semi stuck between 172 and 170 now. Okay, here we go. Can we calm down, please? Oh my God, this guy. Anyone see that on the tape? Fucking hell, mate. What did he just gobble up there in a nanosecond? About 300 lots? And he's bidding 12s again. I'm trying so desperately to be patient. He's bidding 12s. I'm out. This guy on the tape will not let go. I can't fight him. My feeling is the moment I'm out, he's going to pull. And I'm going to miss it. But I cannot fight him. I've given back so much more money today. I was up really big. I've given back, I don't know, $2,600 now. Back into his level. Look, I said it. The moment I'm out, he's going to pull. You fuckhead. All right, need to sell all pops now. Jesus fucking Christ. I fucking knew it. I could just feel it. All right, we've got to sell versus 303 12s here. Because that's where he's just trying to come in. I'm small piece on already, and we'll see if we can flush down lower. Previous week open here. We've got to trade lower now. We've done all the hard work. He's out of position. We can't let him reclaim. Here we go. Can we get a move to 250 and then to 200, please? All right, semis breaking down sub 170, SOXL breaking down, MAG coming. Everything is now in alignment, right? VWAP here if you want to cover some here. Alex is trying to hold for the big trade here. Why did I know that would happen? The moment I took it off on his wiggle, I've lost prime position now. He's conned me. He's fucking conned me. Absolutely conned me. I need pops to get some more size on here. I want to come and test 90s to 313s if possible to get some more size on. 250s is your next cover point, folks, and then 200, and then we break down. I haven't got enough size on here. Cover some here at VWAP if you want. I would look for 250s, which are coming into now. Right, there's your cover there. Right, and then look for 200s. Fuck. All my size was up top. Oh, it's so hard for me. Read it right. Had everything right. He just made it hard. So cover some here, and then you're looking for 200s, and under that, we're looking for basically 100. What an asshole. I'm sorry, guys. He made it very, very tricky, that guy there absorbing the tape. Guys watching the stream. Yeah. What is this? It's a weird algo here. What's this bid? Anyone see that on Bookmap? Weird bid. Very weird bid. Like sliding down. Very odd. Okay, you need 290 to 315 to stay heavy for you. If that doesn't happen, you want to be out. All right, if they start recovering up here, you're done with it. Yes, holding New York open. And you need 170 rejection on SOXL. As long as we reject 290, 315-ish, you can stay in this short side, right? And we look for lower prices. If they reclaim value, you're done. Good rejection there, really nice. I added a bit back on there, and let's hope we can make a new low and start rotating. Otherwise, Alex is going to be pretty upset with another trade of adding into. Is he going to get caught here by being in a giant range and adding into a winner? Probably. That's what we did last 2 weeks ago. Said I wouldn't do it again. New low of day here, software. MAG approaching low of day. Semis just need to reject 170s here. That's all we need to see. And that will confirm this move. We look good. We look good so far. Come on. Got to be careful. Low of day auction on this low. There is a seller caught at this low, 70 lot. You need to get under him. Looking good here, folks. We need to get under this seller, though. He's caught at 50s. We need to get under this 50s and break down towards 200. Come on. Stop absorbing this 50. Fuck off to 200. Here we go. Nice new low here. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. All right, we want 250s ideally. 250s to 261s to stay heavy ideally now for an extension to 200. Looking good. IGV melting. MAG about to melt. We look good for 200 here, folks. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Looking better now. Here we go, team. All right. And once we get under this, we go green to red on the New York session. And then we're going to look for basically 100. All right. So we've covered some here. You can cover some into here and then run us down into there. I'm sorry they made it hard today. I can't. I wish I could control the market and make them put it in, and what would you call it, alignment all the time. I wish we could do that. And 7,500 key on ES, big put wall there. So a little bit front running in front of that. Once we get under that, it's going to be a sell or pop environment on ES. Still looks good. They might want to drift this to 300. There are some zero prints up to 313, so I'm prepared for that if they do. Pops are starting to fail here. There's a seller at 75. It's looking better. I think we're going to get 200s. I think it's a matter of time. It's just whether how high they need to pop it before they get there. New low of day, so Excel. Mag about to break low of day as well. Equal weighted mag. Everything looks great. Everything looks good. We just need semis to join the club, and this thing will melt for the day. Will semis join the club? Do they want to be part of this same team? Oh, we just need 170 to reject on this drive up on semis. That's what I'm watching. Here come the single prints. So watching this into 13s, like I said, has to reject 13s. Semis reclaiming 170s. Don't like that one bit. They've got to come back under 170s, which they're trying to at the moment. If we reclaim value here, you've got to be done with this trade. Holding 170s. Nice rejection. Okay, we need to move lower, and we need to do it now underneath current day value area low. This is good, much better. Like I said, I was ready for those single prints in case they have to do it. And we need to see follow through underneath 82s now. Otherwise, I'm done with this trade. And I have to reposition. Talk about making it hard. Either way, I've locked in, I don't know, just under $3,000 on a TPT account, which I'll take out tonight. So that's not bad. I was hoping for a big day today, but we might not get it if they're going to play games. Let's move on to this account. I need a trade on this account. Right, looking good here. Really good. Semiconductors looking really good. Rejecting 170s. We look good here. Software is absolutely puking. So it's just semis now. If they stay heavy versus 170s, we're going to look for that trade down towards 200 ideally. Talk about whippy. It's crazy, isn't it? 200, like 100-point whip in these 1 minute candles. Look at this. Fucking stupid. Can we see some follow through? They are actually driving me a little mad today, these semiconductors. If they sit here between PDC and PDH, we're not going to get any follow through. They need to start breaking down. The hardest thing is going to be timing, because we keep making new lows and then bidding back up in like Magland and software, and semis are holding. So it's going to make these trades pretty much impossible if we can't go into alignment. There we go, reclaim, done, finished with the trade here. Can't do anything if they're going to be stupid. Like literally cannot do a thing. We're still rejecting value, but this position is done, and we're inside opening range. It's just gross. It's now becoming gross out there. So close this out. Didn't make as much as I would have liked on that. What a crock of shit. What a crock of shit this thing is. The fuck is this garbage? Gapping up. All right, so gap fill is far, man. Add this one on as well. All right, we're back inside of previous day value. No short opportunity now. Big D shape being made. It's a leave alone. We had this drive down. We did the best we could. It's now a leave alone for a bit while they just start messing about. Look at the 1 hour. Well, yeah, I'm always looking at the 1 hour, mate. What do you think I'm looking at? What do you think I'm looking at? Right? What are we doing? Why did we want a short today? Why do you think we wanted the short today? What have we done on the 1 hour? Broken down, coming back to test this level, right? Why do we want short up here? Because we're looking for this move here. If they hold this and reclaim this, we can look for this. We're not looking to buy this, are we? This is where the buyers are caught. So why do you think we're looking for the short? Because this is where buyers are caught. All the buyers that try to buy this, and this, they're caught. All right, so we're looking for that sell opportunity back down in. I'm not looking at anything by the looks of it. 4 losses. Mate, are you okay? That wasn't a loss. Are you all right? That's not a loss, mate. Are you all right with yourself? Are you all right? Are you all right? Right, I'm up just under 3 grand. Not looking at anything. Are you all right with yourself, buddy? Are you okay? Are you butthurt? Did you trade it poorly? Did you not take your stops when you should have? I eat my stops. I take losses when they're there. There you go. Exploit the vibes. You're at 3K2. Right. Not looking at anything. I can't control the market, right? If we're looking for follow through here and we short and we take that stop, we take the stop. If we look for it again and we take the stop, we take the stop. We look for it again and this time it works, great, right? We eat the losses, we take the wins. Like, that's trading, mate. What do you want to do? You want to sit at a table and be like, oh, they're giving you a set. Oh, I don't want to bet. I'm a fucking pussy. I'm not going to put a bet on. You have to put risk on to win, mate. You don't win everything. That's just how it is in the market, mate. It's not going to give you wins on absolutely everything. I'm really sorry to like inform you that. You have to actually put risk on to make some money. And sometimes you're going to lose. That's also part of trading. You think you're going to make 100% win rate. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm not going to look for longs. I'm sorry, I'm not going to look for longs. We are not finding acceptance above previous day's value, right? We're certainly not finding acceptance back inside of previous day's close, so there's no long opportunity. And if I just zoom this out, all right, why the fuck would I want to long that? All right, no thank you. I'll long down here. Sure. I'm not longing in that. Not longing in that. I'm sorry. Too smart to do that. You do it all you want. No way. This is just building out liquidity. It will be done soon. We're technically in a range. Well, yeah, on the daily, but we've broken down to the underside. We found a bit like, in fact, I'm just going to stop talking. I've already explained all of this pre-market. I'm not going to say anymore. I'm done. I'm done. If people want to be idiots, be my guest, be an idiot. I'm not going to waste my breath. I will, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take my 3 grand payout tonight and you can all suck a nut. Free accounts I get. Squishy, you really think I get free accounts? The only free accounts I get, I give to you guys.
I don't get free accounts. I give them to you. If I used the free accounts I got, I'd get banned, mate. I'm not as big as these other guys. Maybe other guys get lots of free. I don't get free accounts, buddy. Fucking idiots, honestly. All right, still rotating this D shape. I'm going to leave this alone. We're not finding acceptance outside of any of this. SOXL's reclaimed 170 back to 172. Software broke down, made a new low. Is trying to trade back inside to 92s at the moment, rejecting 92 so far. This is just like, once they're done with the semiconductors, this thing will bleed. Like I keep saying, it's all about the semiconductors. Might be done now. Semi's just rejected 172s under 170. Pops might fail now. The size of these moves when semis fail is very exaggerated here. So we'll see if they sell 83s to 15s-ish here for sells. Still a buyer in here. There's 300. They're lifting to 315s. Want to see how they act here at 315s to 325s. Big absorption underneath this. That buy is still present that we talked about down here earlier. And you can see the options are having a big impact in this market right now. And the buyers come back on the tape trying to support 300 here and watching them on the books. There's still nothing. Put a little bit of a risk on here versus value area low. If we can come up a little bit. And I see these buyers get caught. Yeah. See if we sell through now. That last seller gets stuck. That 90 lot, 75. Semis 170. Absorbing 170, 172. I just want to see how we respond here at 15s. If we poke and fail. I want to try and get risk on. ES getting slammed back down. ES looks awful as well, actually. Not a pretty chart there. Buyer coming in here. If this guy gets caught at 300 to 315s, I'm interested. Keeps trying to bid heavy here on the way up. Semi's doing a very good job of absorbing everything at 170 and below. Here's the 15 check. Waiting to see how aggressive he gets and if there's a passive seller to hold this here or if they let it back through. Passive seller there. Rebidding 300. They're trying to drive 29k short now. Under 300, do they absorb this? He's under his pain point. Right, I'm short here, very small size. Lift a bit more would be even better. 15's key. He just rejected 15 again. Very choppy here. So there's a seller at 15 to 25 and there's a buyer at 300 to 75. Just trying to play the top side of that to see if they fade it back in. Not risking much on this at all. Okay, back to 300. You can see the chop here. It's very, very fast. Buyer trying to step in at 300 now. We're getting tight. We're starting to pin in. Big move's going to happen out of this. SOXL still pinned for now. Here comes the buyer. Back to 15s. Can't get through 15s. Big buyer here got caught at 300s if we trade under him. That's what I'm trying to see if we make him bleed. And we need to come under value though. So I'm trying to position myself short here for a drive under this to wash back down. And it's going to depend if semis will let go of 170s. Here we go. Stops moving into the money now to protect this in case they bid on value and rip back up again. They're still bidding 75. They let go of that, and we've got a good move here coming. Here we go. Come on, let's see if they can give follow through at all today. 170 semis remains key. It's just chopping 170 to 172. Move my stop a bit tighter here. Still rejecting 15s. I just want to move it out this D shape. I almost don't care now if they rip it higher. It's almost be better to rip it higher. Maglet's heavy here. Here we go. Can we get undervalue for the day? Here we go. Come on. Still this bid down here at 90. Non-stop. Non-stop all day. No acceptance undervalue for this session so far. This guy here is big. He's gobbled everything in here so far. So trying to position early for this move. Just need him to get off the tape. Once he's exhausted, back into his level again. Trying not to take any here because I think there's a big trade in here when it's ready. So 250, 200, same targets as before. Nothing's changed. If you want to peel some off here, I totally understand. Semiconductors rejected 172s back under 170. We need follow through now under 170 though. Any retest of 170 needs to be sold. Otherwise, it's going to make a wedge and make a higher low and a lower high, which it looks like it's trying to do. So semi's being bid again. Yeah, done with that. Locked in some more. So still this whale. The only thing I know, there's not actually been much aggressive selling down here, but it certainly is a whale gobbling up. The high of day, this does not look very good. I almost now am at the point where I'd rather they break it out or fail breakout and then do this and trap buyers up here. It might just be that we lack buy side liquidity stuck right now. I really don't want to trade too much more in here. Try to align that with semis again, which have rebid again. I don't understand how you guys are blowing count. You've got to be oversized if you're blowing accounts. You have to be. Because the moves aren't, while they're whippy, as long as you're risking like value and taking profit or view up and taking profit or moving stops break even, I don't understand how you're blowing accounts. Like the smallest accounts have what, 2,500 of drawdown, unless they were already close to being gone. You've got to be oversized. $300 was one of the bears defend. Yeah, I mean, we're chopping it. But things are dynamic, right? Things have moved already. Things are dynamic. Right, the hourly, we broke down last night. We almost came into that 800 zone. We're bidding up. I expect us to fail somewhere around here. And I expect there to be, they're making it really hard. It's the same move. Do we have another go at this? Might have to have another go at it. See if this pops up to 80 and fails. Comes the pop. Right, they need to sell this at 80 and I'll be interested. Anywhere around here. Yep, short in that into 80s, and let's see if we can follow through. Here we go. I'd like to get down to 200. That's what I'm trying to target. ES breaking down, looking really good. New low of day. Mag, new low of day. Semiconductors under 170. Will they follow through under 170? That's the question. We're looking for, I'm trying not to cover 250 now. I'm looking for 200, right? So that'd be an 80-point trade and then runners underneath. Right, it's the same trade I've been looking at all day. It's just like I can't control when it goes or not, folks. That's trading. I'm risk on based on what I see in front of me. I either hit my targets or I don't. That's all trading is, right? There's 250 if you want to take it. I'm going to try to get to 200. 250, you can see this options level was massive. Under this, certainly under this, we're going to go into sell everything environment. So we're looking for rejection, sort of 180, maybe even up to 300 possible. And we just need semis to fuck off, please. And they won't. They will not fuck off. This is literally all that's the issue right now. If we come over here, that's just happened in that moment. We were breaking 170 and then they just ripped it back up. And the danger of this is these gap fills. So there's a 300 test or 315s. Once these let go, this will be a really nasty environment for sell side, and they know that. That's probably why this buy has been trying to protect it. I wonder if this is like last week and we've got someone stuck and he needs to bid up to get his exit. Semis aren't responding. Why trade? Well, they have started responding and then they turn around. But, you know, MAG made a new low of day. SOXL, like, there isn't just one thing. And, you know, the trade's there. The trade's there. Like I keep telling you guys, I'm going to trade what's in front of me. Like, it either goes or it doesn't go. Like, at some point, this is going to work. We've already, like, I've been scalping this each time. I'm trying to position myself for the big move. What are you going to say when this goes 200 and 129,000? Oh, we should have got in. I should have got in. Right, you have... Shall I risk 20, 30 points for the potential of a 300 trade? Yeah, I think I will, thanks. I think I will. What's this? No, it's not because of FOMC. FOMC is minutes. It's not FOMC, it's minutes, mate. This has got nothing to do with that. This is just building out liquidity before the move comes. All right, still looking good here. Once 250 lets go, this is the target, and then all the way down here. And that's what I'm trying to position myself short for. I'm trying to position myself this move to this move. You can all bitch and moan and whine, but when it comes, would have been worth the break evens and the small losses. All right, I want all pops to 280 to fail here now. And I want semis to just sell this 170. 170. 280 test. I want to stay heavy here at 280s, please. And I want 170s to fail here. Semis. We're in a wedge now on semis. So when we break outside of this wedge, it will be big. It could be to the upside. It's possible. Can't rule it out. All right, nice 280 rejection there. Looking good. We need follow through to the downside. Sub 250 to get us to 200. That's what I'm looking for. It'd be an 80-point trade. It's 250. This is your gamma level. We get under this, we go 200. Okay, options traders, let us have it. Seller exhaustion down at those lows. So there's still a buyer down there at the moment. Just be aware of that. Delta divergence at those lows as well. Come on, get under them. Come on, sellers. Here goes semis. Come on, semis. New low in this wedge, please. Come on. Help a brother out. More absorption down here from the buyer. More absorption again from a buyer. So seller's getting caught there. Did cover some into that. If we rip 280s, I'm done with it. I'm not going to give anything back. Locked some good money in there. Definitely delta divergence at those lows. 280s is the level. If they pop 280s, they go 310. So that's your out. This guy here, 300, 310s. There's still a buyer down here present. Still in this at the moment. We're still under 280s. No close above. I would say all the buyers, all the sellers from 260 to 235 are getting absorbed right now. So we need to get under that. And then the big buyer who's been absorbing it will get stuck. So if we can break the new low here, it'd be good. If it all pops to 260 now, start to fail, this buyer's going to get very, very upset. And we'll get the move to 200 I've been waiting for. It's looking good. New low here. Yeah, he's cooked. This guy's cooked. I want all pops to sell now. Semi's joining in, adding into this now for the move to 200. There's an imbalance here at 220s. And then under 200, I'm going to look for 100. And then that'll be what? A 200-point trade. So those 20, 30-point stops like we talked about will be worth it, won't they? But, you know, some of you will not put risk on for some reason. You cannot eat your losses. You only know how to add into losers, not into winners. Here we go. Right, previous day low here. All right, covering some into this, into 200. And then I'm looking for the break below 200 if possible, all the way down to this blue box. And I'd like 250 to 260 to stay heavy because that's where we've really just attacked with size. Really nice. Just have to be a bit patient. Something some of you probably have got to learn about trading. It requires patience. Things aren't given to you easy, all right? Trades don't come easy. They don't come when you want. They come when the liquidity's built, when the market's ready. All right, we will need these pops from 250 to 260 to be sold. Maximum 280 here, or I'm out. And I have just hit a pretty big winner down there. So we want these pops to be sold here. 280 maximum. That was nice. Nice sell into 260 there. If 250, 260 sell would be ideal. We'll keep all that big buyer stuck. 280 would be my out on the runner. I've already paid myself. That'd be my out on the runner. 280 reclaim would be my out on the runner. Big soak from SOXL there. Failed to break its low of day. So coming back towards its shelf. We'd like it to break low of day. Here we go. Can we get 200 here, please? 200 and below, get us to 100. That would be glorious, wouldn't it? Here we go. Here we fucking go. Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. He can't read it. Shut your fucking gob, mate. Shh. Child. Go ride some ponies and unicorns in your mum's basement. All right, here we go. So if you didn't cover that first week, you can cover some here. We're looking now for a breakdown under 200. Then we're going to look for IB expansion, which will probably get us into this block that we were originally looking for. And this is my main runner point here. All you guys wanting to buy high of day, telling me it's a buy on the hourly. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm really sorry. That's not me being mean. You literally don't know what you're talking about if you're saying that. We are at a cover point here because we're at current week value area low. And if we break this, we're going to look for a trade down here, but we're covering a good chunk of our change into this. Yeah, I'm just making stuff up. Value doesn't exist. Blah. Show my P&L. Suck your mum. Do you want my P&L from yesterday as well? What did I hit yesterday, guys? Was it like 11 grand or something? All right, 200 here. And if we break this, 100s. All right, you must be covering some here. ES breaking down, semis breaking down, everything's breaking down, alignment's good. We're looking for trade under 200 to 100 now with the runners, folks. We're looking for an extra 100 points here, okay, if we can stay heavy. All right, we're looking for an extra 100 points here if we can stay heavy down into this. So you should have covered some. It's runners only now. You're up 100 points on this trade at least. How did I manage it? Because I eat losses, mate, and I take small size and then I add into my winners. This is the first time we've had 100 points here. It's been available to trade. All right, sell a little bit caught here. We're looking for extension down to 100 if possible. There's no guarantee we get it here. But if we can get it and we flush, that's what we're looking for. Here we go. Beautiful. So sub 200 now. See if we can get right the way down into this. Next put ball was actually down at 29,000. I'm only really looking for 100 here on the runner. So if we reject all pops here, I'm looking for 100 on the runner. Semis green to red here. If they can stay heavy, that will help. All right, they're under PDC. So if semis can pop up and fail, I'd say 66.5 to 67 would be great. And we can afford a pop up to 250. We'd rather stay heavy at IB here. But if they want to pop 250, they can. Nice IB rejection so far. Still sat in this. I don't want to add too early for this breakdown. Looks good though. IB fail. Let's just measure out IB, see where the extension 1.5 would get us today. Get us right into the top of this blue box. All right, right into 100. So that target, I've now got confluence that that's where we're trying to go. That is where we're trying to go. Yes, just bleeding. Straight bleeding here. IGV low of day. Come on, baby. Give me 100. Give me 100, baby. Told you, there's a big trade in here if we're patient. Let's go. Let's go. Bleed it. Bleed it. Bleed it. Bleed it. Bleed it. All pops to fail. I'd rather IB fails. There's another pop to IB failing. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, market. You got this. You got this. You got this. 100s, please. You got this, market. You got this, market. You got this, market. You can do this for me. Here's 150s. Beautiful. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Software into IB low. Bag into IB low. Both into low of day. Just trying to manage this now. little bit of delta divergence on that last candle with the wick. This might lift towards 250 here if they break through. And if they fail that, I'm going to re-add on. It's easier if they reject 200 here, but it's possible they go for a little squeeze out towards 250 and then fail. So just manage your risk accordingly. They're trying to get that lift through 200 to 250 here. They're trying to do what I was just talking about. I think they want to try and check 250. Then we see if they stuff it up there. So like I said, if you haven't paid yourself, you should have. You need to manage your risk accordingly. I'm prepared for this move to 250 to see if they stuff it. They might not make it that far, but that's what they're attempting to do. There we go. 20s, 30s. They're trying to get to 50, like I said. It's what they're attempting to do. And I'd say if they reclaim value here, if they reclaim 50, you probably want to be done with it. But I would imagine sellers will come back in and try and defend 50 here, which is what I'm going to look for. There's liquidity being added a little bit higher here. They're getting pretty bullish here, which is good for the sell. That's what we want. We want the passive seller to be up here. So just short 50 there, you hit 44s. Again, what does this guy know? Clearly nothing. He's wrong all the time, as someone said in chat today. He doesn't know how to trade. Yes, absolutely right. Make stuff up as I go along. Right, let's see now what happens. If they defend IB, you want to be slightly cautious here, but I'd be looking for all pops versus 250 to fail, then come back under 200, and then we should see an extra 100-point bleed out. I would say there are sellers caught those lows. There's the squeeze. All right, done with that at 250, like we said. This is hilarious. Hello. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's hilarious. Big squeeze. Exacerbated moves on volatility. We should have failed 250 there. We went way above it, an extra 50 points. I'm surprised I didn't get slipped there on the stop, to be honest. Okay, back inside. No trading environment now for me. All the time we're back inside of value. This is where I'm going to leave alone. This is a leave alone trade. Because now they've held IB, they've held current week value area low. So we're not increasing that pressure. We come back inside, environment's changed. If they hold this, rotation takes place here. I won't trade rotation. No way. And I'm certainly not trading a bullish rotation in a bearish edged market. Oh, Khan, you're back in. This dude's whack. Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'm up $3, $4, $5, $6,000 today. How much are you up, Khan? Let's see how much I was up yesterday as well. This same guy here every day. Look at this. It's probably going to fail further today as well. But, you know, don't worry about it because, again, you're unable to manage your risk accordingly. We all know that from the last few weeks when you've been wrong all the time and coming back in here talking shit. But, you know, just to embarrass you, I will do this now. Just purely to embarrass you again. So you just fuck off out this chat. You clown. That's what we looked for overnight. Yesterday, oh my God. No way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $11,500 yesterday in the afternoon with the session. Are you okay there, bud? Are you okay there? Are you all right? Fuck out of here, you idiot. You absolute idiot. He wants me to lose, but the thing is, He's fucking shit at trading because he's wrong every time. And he likes to, I told you and I told you, but he doesn't take the trades. He even admitted it on his Twitter. Exactly. He comes here because he needs someone to hold his hand. And what he does is he enters late and gets hurt and then cries about it. Or he guesses tops and bottoms. All right. The day you start making 5 figures, mate, and actually prove it, you can come here. Until then, jog on, son. Jog on, son. Hilarious. How many new accounts have you made, Khan, to come in and try and troll? You fucking loser, mate. You're a fucking loser. It's literally what you are. You're a dick, a loser, a lowlife, a nobody. You have nothing. This is your life. Ow, trolling. See how I'm here teaching, trading, hitting levels? You're not, mate. You got nothing. All right, we're going to look at the same stuff here. If we start rejecting value, we'll be prepared for it. But at the moment, this is New York Open and current week's value area low. So we need to be aware of a bid starting to develop, protecting current week's value. We can see it on the H1 chart, right? We can see this being developed here and being protected at the moment. We got very close to that full move, right? And if they want to protect value for the current week and ping pong this for a session, they can absolutely do so. But sell pressure will remain here all the time these buyers are stuck. So the only thing we know in this market, if these buyers are stuck, sell pressure is here. That's it. All right, back down to these lows. It was just a squeeze out, and this can still fail again. If we come under IB, it was just a squeeze out rejecting VWAP. And I'll play this same trade here. If we start to reject 250s again and stay heavy under 200, then the bleed will continue because that's a squeeze out. But we just have to let this develop some liquidity between 250 and 200 now. ES rejected IB hard as well. Low of day here on IGV, low of day here on MAGS. Semi's trying to hold on, but still rejecting 170. So we're going to let this develop a minute between 250 to 200, and then we look for another trade. Imagine that's your life. You come in here trying to troll. That's what you've got as a life, Khan. It's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. Your mum and dad clearly gave you no love as a child. You're definitely a virgin. I can be here all day, mate. I'll fucking meet you. It's fine, mate. Give it all the chat you want. Send me all the emails you want. Abuse me all you want. Then I dare you to do it to my face. So 200 to 250 rotation probable here. And then we see what happens next. No, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because you guys think I'm not human. I've got a right to respond. Fucking bring it, mate. Fucking bring it. I dare you. I dare you. Right, pop's starting to fail now in front of 250. And if they get heavy here under IB, we're going to see the continuation. But until then, liquidity going to be built between 200 and 250. And I will look to slam the shit out of this when it's ready. Here's the 200 level. So 200 to 250 rotation, and we see what happens underneath all of this, not beforehand. We banned Khan a million times. He keeps making, this is what I mean, how he's a lowlife. He makes new usernames, new channels just to come here and troll. That's the type of character he is. That's the type of character we're dealing with. You give stuff for free, it's never enough. All right, building out here. I'm looking for the short here on pops that start to fail now. Starting to feel my way into this for short side because we're starting to fail 200 and I'm now short. And it's small because we can come right the way up to 250, like I said. But this is, I'm looking for the breakdown here all the way down to 100. And I'm short and small size. And we just see, like I said, they can keep rotating 200, 250, 200, 250, 200, 250 till they're ready. But I'm going to put some risk on because I'm a trader and I have to put some risk on for when it's ready. If we get through 250 and validates the trade, I'll get out. That's fine. $167, 170 now the rotation on semis. Mag low of day. Software low of day. And once semis let go, we're going to go. So I'm positioned short in case. No doubt there's someone trying to prop it up around here. Like I said, it can come all the way up here. My risk is all the way up here. That's how small I am because I understand that that's the trade development. Sub 200. See if we get the drive down to 100. VS let's go of 90s here. It would help. Again, 167, 170 rotation. On semis, everything else is at low of day. It's all about these if and when they're ready to let go. They're starting to try. They're trying to let go here, semis, but they are just stuck in this like pin. If they reclaim 170s, the squeeze is on for semis. So that's the risk right now, basically, which is probably around the 250 area. If they, I guess they could rip it higher through 250 all the way up to this low volume node again if they really wanted. It's possible. So bored of chat when it's like this. So disgusting. All right. So sat in this short. I'm just going to see if I can make it work. Anchor volume profile settings are written in chat about 5 million times, guys. Why don't you mention the levels I'm trading? Are you fucking joking? Are you joking? Are you joking? It's incredible. Fucking idiot. Absolutely incredible. Here's the initial balance at 200. They can rotate this to 250. I'm looking for fails under initial balance to 100. I respond to every time I look up, it's all I see. It's all I see is someone being an idiot at the moment. It's all I see. Back to IB here. Here we go. Like I said, the risk is 250 on the trade. It's that big a risk. That's just what we're sized in for at the moment. Semi's looking better here. If they come under PDC, it will really help. Little response here from IGV and MAG, though. So we just have to see if they're willing to stay heavy versus 200 and get us that 100-point move we want or not. Oh my God, I'm like exhausted by chat today. In fact, I'm turning it off. That's probably going to help me trade better. I'm not even going to look. And then I can just trade my book without worrying about any of you. I'm short here at IB, which is also New York Open, looking to see if we flush down to 100 and potentially even 29,000 today. All right, and the risk is up here at 50. It's 50-point risk. Has to be 50-point risk. And if we pop up there and fail, I might even consider an ad. That's the trade setup. Regardless of what Khan or anyone else says, that's the setup in front of us, just like he's always wrong. Right? We only trade what we're looking for. The setup today was a rejection of previous day value area low. That's what we looked for. We never found acceptance over it. It wiggled an awful lot. All right. It did all this nonsense up here. All right. But eventually we rejected previous day value area low. We've come down to current week value area low, which at the moment we're finding a bid on. I'd like us to trade down into here. That's what I'd like. It doesn't have to give it to me. All right. My risk is up here. If we reclaim this, this trade will be incorrect and we go back inside value. That's part of trading. If that's what happens, that's what happens. We might need to retest 250 here just to pull some more buyers in at the moment. Big response here from software and from semis. So we might see a squeeze up to 250 coming here. It's almost like it needs it to pull buyers in, to be honest, to build the liquidity to move lower at the moment. I'm still sat in it short. I'm still looking for new lows. Just how far does it need to move up first? At the moment, we're still hanging around this initial balance. Remember, the measured move on the initial balance will take us into this box. This is where I'm looking to cover. Right, it's where I would like to cover my position and then hold runners just in case we do something nasty once they're done building out the liquidity. Here we go. Here comes the selling. Let's see if they can break a new low here. We need it under 170. 5 minute looking like, yeah, definitely need it under 180, 170 here. Definite bid. Trying to prop the market 180, 170 right now. I really wouldn't be surprised if we go 250 before we do anything else. hanging around this IB. All I can tell you right now is that from 200 to 170, there's absorption. Once that, it's a bit like earlier, it's the same guy, probably the same guy. Once he gets out of the way, we get that like big move down. It's exactly the same as what we saw up here earlier. Right, if we poke into it, we're seeing absorption. Once he left, we did this. We're seeing the same here. If he leaves, we get this. I wouldn't be surprised if we need to retest this before we do that move. I'm not convinced there's enough aggressive buying in here at the moment to move lower through unless we suddenly go risk off. So that's why I'm thinking we might need to do this before this, but I'm already positioned short here looking for it. So I don't want to miss the trade. I have to be risk on. Okay, here we go. And if we get the full move here, or TP1 will be into, you can take some here into current week value area low if you want. Is Alex wrong again, Khan? Just want to keep fighting me week after week. Fucking knobhead. Honestly, I'm at a point where I'm not going to trade on YouTube anymore. It's just pissing me off. It gives so much away for free. Edge, edge, edge every day. 100's the next target. So current week value area low being protected for now. If you want to trim some into this blue line, that's your current week value area low. If we get acceptance under that, this is where I'd like to see the market come to. But you can see we are responding at current week's value area low. Still rejecting initial balance. Remember that measured move will take us to this blue box. Just remember that. Measured move will take you to that blue box. Still looks good here. Still rejecting IB. PDC here about to be tagged on SOXL. And if we drop below that, obviously we go green to red on the day, and that will really help this market move lower. Right, once, like I said, once semis are done, this thing's fucking over. It's just a short squeeze bid up on semis. Once there's done, this thing is over because we are gap and go to the downside. It was a drift higher today to be sold into because there is lots of buyers stuck. All right, and we play the pain point of buyers. Here's PDC on SOXL, so we might see a little response here. Hopefully we go green to red on SOXL and we drift lower. But you're now up, I don't know, 40 points on this trade from IB already. And here we go. Let's see if we can get all the way down to 100 here. SOXL green to red. Shall I do a bow for you? Lovely. SOXL red on the day. All pops failing. 100 is our cover point. What can I say? Argue, argue, argue all you want. Fucking unicorn riding moron. Right, we would like pops to 150 to fail, ideally. They can afford to come up to 180, 200 again, but if 150 fails, that would be the most ideal move because buyers did attempt to come in there a couple of times. Like I said, if they want to come 190, 200, they can. And we'd like PDC to reject here, if possible, on SOXL. So this tap back into it, we'd like to see it be sold into. It'd help increase downside pressure on this market. Here's the tap into it. Here's the sell into it. And now we'd like SOXL to make a new low, which it's now trying to do. So much easier when I'm not reading idiots in chat. I can just trade my book properly. All right, cover points. You can cover some here into 125. There is a put wall here. I'm looking for 100, so. Chat's closed. If you're asking questions, I'm really sorry. I got sick of it this morning. I'm just going to trade my way effectively, right? I'm here to make money. I am a trader after all. Right, here's the break, and we're looking for drive down to 100 now. Now, if you want to learn with me and you just look at SOXL on a 3 or a 5 minute, you'll see that we just rejected PDC and we're going to trade now lower. So lower day here on SOXL, and we should trade lower now. So very close to our target here. We're what, 10 points short of it. You should be covering some into this. Numerous people in chat today talking shit. This guy loses all the time, 4 losses in a row. He doesn't know what he's doing. Yada, 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 yada. It gets boring, guys. It gets really boring. All right, here's your covers. All right, make sure you're paying yourself here into the top of this blue box. Now, if we bleed below this, we're going to look for 29,000. All right, so if we bleed below this, we're going to get another 100 points on a runner. But you should have been covering most of your position down here, please. And we'll see how low we can go. And look at SOXL, completely tanking now. Everything I talked about happening. It's just being patient and letting the liquidity to build out and being willing to put risk on the table for the move, being confident that the move is going to happen. There's the 100 break. This is your main cover point. You are runners now for 29,000. And I absolutely know the guys that can manage their risk are making a ton of money here today. So we've achieved low-hanging fruit. Remember, the main trade we were looking for today was from previous day value area low to here. We've now ticked that. That's our main trade complete. If we see this move here, we can get runners down into these. But the main moves happened. Some sellers coming in here at the lows, probably going to get themselves a little caught being a bit aggressive at the lows. So you better have paid yourself most of your money here, folks, like I always talk about. Take the low-hanging fruit. Don't overstay your welcome. Do not overstay your welcome. You can hold runners, but do not overstay your welcome. We can revisit 250 here where that buyer last got caught if they really want. Still looking for downside pressure, but just on runners now. Comes the move, so they're going to come and test that. Sorry, I said 250, no, 150 is what I meant. So they test 150, and if they get through 150, they could potentially come up to 180s. But 150 is the main level. There was a buyer that came in there at 147, so they'd like to keep him stuck, the sellers. If they're unable to do that, they were going to come and test 180 to 200. So like, I'm done. I'm down to tiny size. I'm willing to let this come all the way back. I locked in big money on that move. Here we go. So like through the 150s, and they're going to come test 180 to 200 now. And SOXL again, it's going to come test PDC. That's your over-under for sentiment, right? So if you're looking for sentiment for the day, this is why we watch what's going on in the broader sectors, right? So why did the market hold on so long today? Well, it was this. It was a short squeeze on semiconductors, all right? Once this failed the 170 finally, all right, we got the fail, we came back, we tested PDC, we failed, we've tested PDC, we failed. We're still looking for lower prices. It's why I'm still willing to sit in my runners here versus 200, because there is a chance if this starts to get nuked, all right, remember, there's no reason really for this to be up other than a technical bid when we think about what's going on in the market right now. All right, we are multi-time frame buyers trapped above us. We're looking for lower prices. We hit that level. We hold runners. We wait and see. Now, I would say sellers got caught at the lows at 110 and 100. So you can mark that out if you want. It was like 100 lot at each of those. So if you sell through those, we see sell pressure. But if buyers come and protect 110 to 100, then the bid develops. So I'm trying to hold some runners to move lower here. That's what I'm trying to do in case we get a 100 fail and we get another 100 points down here. So here's the test towards 110. They are attempting to bid 110. And they're trying to keep these sellers caught now. This is like the lower time frame battle starting. Mag trying to find a bid. Software back inside of initial balance, but pulling back into IB. So see whether they bid out software. Back to these 110s again. You can see the importance, right? Looking like they might want to break down through them. There's a bid developing here, but if we can get under 110 and under 100, then these sellers get comfortable. But, you know, you want to be very careful. Ideally, we flush through and we come right down into the next box, but we'll see. At the moment, buyers are trying to protect 110 to 100. So they know that's where sellers got caught. I'm still in this looking for lower prices. Like I said, I'm looking now to see if we can get to 29,000. I don't know if we can, but that's what I'm looking for. So here's the 100 check. Now, ideally, any pop to 110 gets sold into. Here's the break. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get 29,000 now. So we're looking for another 100 points lower. So we want all pops to 100 to 110 to be sold into now. You just need bigger stops on days like today. Your ATR is big. The range is big. The volatility is big. You've got to give it room. Looks good. All right, we'd like 100 to 110 to fail on any pop here, folks. All right, 100 to 110 to fail. And we're looking for 29,000 covers now. Right down here. That's what I'd like to get to, 29,000 on the runner. New lows, SOXL. Back under IB on software. Looks good. Looks really good. We've got some old zero prints down here as well that we can get into. It's looking good. Here we go. You might get a bit of response at 60s here. We're looking good. Fantastic. This runner's going to go for us, finally. So you're now up about 200 points on this trade. So think about those 20-point losses that you took. Ask yourself, was it worth it? Right, like I said, might get response here at 60s. Again, you need 100 to 110 to stay heavy. All right, I would not let it reclaim 100 to 110 now. You need that to stay heavy. Globex taken now on ES. Continued weakness on ES. Continued weakness in the broader market. Everything looks good for alignment. Wonder if I can turn chat back on now. If you guys have calmed down now that you've got a big winner, I wonder if everyone's going to be nice now. All right, chat back on. What's the blue box based on? It was a low volume node on the hourly. It can probably come down a bit. It's probably like here. Yeah, it's just where, if you look at the hourly, it's where we kind of caught a bid, right? So they sold into it a few times this morning and we started to develop a bid out. So this is the reprice. This is why I felt confident we'd come down to here. Now under this, we're looking for this move into the next level, right? I wonder if I proved myself enough for you newer traders this morning. All right, big buyers at these lows, they're probably going to get punished here and we're probably going to move lower against them. They just came in at 54s. So I wouldn't mind a pop up to 100 to 110 here to give me like a potential re-entry add. Everything low of day. Every single thing low of day here. So we'll see if we can pop up to 100 to 110, maybe a sell opportunity. That's in for an ad. At the moment, they're just dumping everything. Buyers are fucked, like I talked about. Higher time frame buyers are fucked. I don't know who talked about the hourly, talking about like trying to buy the higher day today. Like I said, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not being mean, but you that just tells me you don't know how to read the market. I try and teach you guys how to read the market, but seems like days like today, you just want to fight with me instead of just being patient and listening. Told you, if we can be patient today, there's a massive trade coming. We've just had it. We've just had it. It all comes from understanding this chart here, right? These guys were stuck, all right? We zoom out. Who's stuck in this market? Buyers, all right? Sellers are not stuck because they're under it. So what are we looking for? Return in, sell. It's really fucking simple, but people bizarrely want to fight it. I don't know why, but you do, right? We talked about it. Here's Alex's trade setup for today. Here, return back in, sell. The only time we'll be long is if we reclaimed this whole thing, which we didn't do. We are looking for short side. 325 is where I thought we would come to. I don't know what we hit. I have to remind myself. A bit higher than I thought. 400. We came all the way up to 400. But once we failed 325, right, that's where the selling started aggressively. All right, I'm going to look to see if this comes back to 100 to 110 for me to get re-involved in adding some size on here. Alex, if we can tell the market, pop up and I got stocked out. All good in profit. Thanks, buddy. You're welcome, man. I sold the pop of the higher day today. Oh, but you didn't hold. Well, that's an amazing trade. I certainly didn't. I was waiting for breakdowns, you know, like you would have seen. Took a few losses. But, you know, liquidity has to be built out to get the move, okay? Liquidity has to be built out to get the move, all right? We had to trap in more people. It's not that dissimilar from yesterday, all right? Yesterday, liquidity had to be built out to get the move, right? We caught this in Discord. This is where we made $10,000 together, right? That's the move. That's how the market works, believe it or not. It always works the same way. Did I just miss it? No, I haven't. Okay, still waiting. So what I'd say, 110s. Here we're looking 100 to 110s. I want to see if these sellers come back in here. I want to see if these sellers come back in up here. There's no reason to long the market today. I don't understand people that did that. There was literally no reason. We're gap and go downside with big downside pressure. All right, oil's gapped up, VIX is gapped up, Dixie's holding its level to break out higher. Everything macro-wise, if you understand, like influences in the market, is saying that the market wants to move lower. All right, even if you look at the bonds, they're all up 1%. Okay, 30 years up 0.61. Everything's saying the market wants to move lower. Literally every big understanding of how a market works is saying market's going to move lower today. It's just trapping enough people in, right? We don't short lower day now. You can manage this down to here. This is the target. Okay, this is your next target. I'm looking to see if we can come up to 100 to 110 to then resell it back down again. And we're just going to keep breaking because buyers are stupid. Because dumb money is dumb. And they're going to keep buying when everything is saying we want to break lower. Targets on SOXL for downside. Well, you just hit the main one. All right, 160. That was your main one. Under that, 150, mate. Yeah, 150. If 160, I'd say 160 to 157s, 156s, let's say. 160 is your put wall. If they let go of that, 156s, 156s and a half, so they let go of that 150. And your PDC is basically your risk. So you want to stay, you know, you've gone green to red. That's how you want to stay. You want to stay red on the day.
Yeah, so if we look at semis, all right, squeeze up, 3 drive, failed to break higher, a bit of chop for a while, but once we broke down, right, 70s let go, there's your PDC, retest, fail, all right, here's your level. This is your cover point 160, you lose 160, 150s as possible. Like I said, there is a bit of a shelf here, so I'd respect this, yeah? So I'd respect 55s and I'd respect 150s for your covers if you're short on that, or if you're trading long SOXS. Looking at higher time from QQQ, all of June is now under basically. How low do you think the market could go big picture? I think we can go retest the 2025 highs. And I'll show you. And I've talked about it in the newsletter as well. Right? We are starting to lose, and this is the current year's profile. Yeah, that's 2026. We're starting to lose this node. All right, now this node is also from this beginning of May where we've been in this sideways, or you might want to call it a diamond, or whatever we want to call it. All right, now once this breaks, where's the probable move? Well, it'd be RBS, right? Resistance becomes support, would be first retest of this, which we haven't done since the breakout. All right, now what would that be in terms of a pullback? Well, if we go from the low to the high, it'd be a 50% pullback of this huge move, all right, of the war new move, all right? So 50% pullback to the dot would get us into the RBS, right? Now, if we also think about that, if we were to do a fib of the range, it would be a 1.5 move, right? So from the low of the range to the high of the range, right? This would be a 50% extension. So where do I think we can go? Well, I've got good confluence to say we've got a good chance of breaking down here. It doesn't have to go there. What would also be there? Probably by the time we get there, the 200-day. All right, so my theory is there's a chance to get there. Now, is it going to do it quickly? No. You're going to need this lower Bollinger Band to come down. You need the 5-day to cross, and ideally the 20-day and the 50-day to cross as well. And then you're going to get multiple signals from multiple types of traders to come down to here. And then from this point, I'd like to see this in summer, all right, by the end of August, maybe into the beginning of September. Now, what might cause this? Well, I would say if earnings are weak, we had the first indication of that this week. Was it this week or last week? This week with Samsung, right? Samsung, weak. And so the COPSI dropped, right? So if Samsung was weak and we get semiconductors being weak with that, then we're likely to get this move, right? We're likely to get that move. And then hopefully in Q4, we can bid back up. Fantastic. And then we'll have liquidity. All right, and then 2027, we can look for the breakout. Great. All right, that'd be really nice. Beautiful. Did I just miss my re-entry talking? Great. Great, fantastic. Well done, Alex. Right, delta divergence at the lows, sellers being absorbed. We'll see if this peaks out. 100 to 110. If they squeeze through 110, they revisit 150. So if they squeeze through 110, they revisit 150. There's a 100 test. Look at that big rejection. Remember, low-hanging fruits have now gone. Starting to see some bid develop here. I am going to just remove this now, right? Because we traded through it. And I'm also going to give some credence to this node. Where's that buyer? 147.5. All right, so through the 110s, no shorts here. We might come and test 147.5 here. And then through there, 180. Just see here. I'm going to wait for the turn, wait for them to show their hand if they want more. Spider's finding a bid on its 50-day, by the way. Qs might need to come and revisit sort of 704-ish before they make a decision here. Semi's coming back to PDC like we talked about. So that's your over-under. That is your over-under for the day on semis. Oh, yeah, 150-ish is key. 147s to be exact, but 150-ish is key. Through that, potentially all the way back to twos. So buy side of the curve coming in, and they might lift all the way back up here. It's possible. It's possible. We're low on volume here. They can come all the way back up. I'm waiting for a re-entry now. And I won't fight it. You know, if we reclaim value, if this is the, like we said, the low-hanging fruit got hit, right? Low-hanging fruit was 100. We almost got to 29,000. All right. We might need to build out again here. It's been quite the drop, right? For everyone impatient, it's been quite the drop. It's been a good move. This was a, 150, 170 point move if you took the IB fail with me. All right, like I said, I was short here, risking 150s. Someone said, why don't you give your levels? I did. All right. We got as low as here. We didn't quite get this. We got the low-hanging fruit. This might need to reprice. Now, if we reclaim that, we're no longer short on a reclaim of this because we've had the move. We've repriced the H1 already. Buyer getting stuck there at 47s again. So that's it's a big level at 47s. Now, if they reject 47s, we might be in with something. If they don't, if they reclaim, they're going to look for 200. So I'm watching here very carefully as the tape starts to turn. They just trapped at 150. So if pop starts to fail now, I'm interested. And we're going to have to be very careful on covers here. All right, because buyers can step back in. We did have exhaustion at the lows. So let's see. I need a pop back up to fail to get involved. Look at SOXL. Look what it just rejected. All right, that is your over-under. It's your sentiment for the day. Looking to see if we fail back here at 150 or not. Lots of liquidity higher at the moment. Right, put a tiny piece on here versus 147s. So I'm short versus 147s here. We need to trade under 110s really to get comfortable. And then we can look for some covers into this sort of node down here. Here we go. All right, stop moving break even now. So it's moving my stop to 129.5 because that's where the seller just came in. So I want him to stay selling to keep me comfortable. And we'll see if we can trade down into this grey box. So I'll cover some. I'll cover some into here. All right, we'll cover some into this or in front of this because they can bid this back out. And if they don't, then we get the runners down lower. So far, it looks good, didn't it? So what do we say? 147s, right? 147s was the level. Why was it the level? It's because we had Delta stuck there. All right, this big buyer here earlier got stuck. You just got added in more sell side pressure. So I'm leaning on this guy. This is my out, right? This seller here is my out. If we come through this seller here, I cut the stop. I cut it break even. Right, it's very, very simple. So if we trade through 129.5, I'm done because it means we're going to put in a higher low and try and lift. What do I mean when I say reprice the hourly? Okay. This, all right, just think about this. Very simple. Breakdown, right? This is where the buyers are. They get stopped out. Big wash. We reprice this thin liquidity. We come back to these buyers. Now, if you just think about this, If you were a bag holder here and it give you the option to get out here, what are you going to do? You're going to get out. You're not going to be a fucking idiot like people said today and buy this, are you? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to get out.
which does what? Sell side pressure. So what are we likely to do on a big squeeze up in this hourly candle here? This is a big move, 150 to 400. What are we likely to do? Are we likely to keep going higher, or are we likely to reprice this hourly candle, which is Fugazi? We're likely to reprice that candle, right? We're likely to sell back the short squeeze, sell it back. There's your reprice. These hourly candles, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles are getting repriced. And now we're starting to increase value lower on the week. So obviously I've stopped out there while I've been teaching you. If I buy 699 without any add-ons, do I get Discord? Yeah, you get Discord and you get a version of this indicator for free, mate. It's not quite as powerful, but a version of it for free. And Discord for life. Still seeing rejection of 147 here. So there's still buyer caught at 147. Now, they might need a second leg higher. The second leg higher, if they're going to do it, all right, if they build out here, second leg higher would be here. I've stopped out of this already. I think I'll probably wait to see if they want to do this now and protect this. All right, so where sellers are hanging out, they're in here. They want to keep all the buying in here stuck. There's no Discord for free for good reason. Otherwise, cretins like Khan come in there, right? So we have to keep people like that out. Otherwise, people like that get my students trapped, trading the wrong way. All right, another drop down. So I'm willing to sell this again on pops to 130, I guess. Oh, that's an unfinished auction above. I'm not going to sell it at 130. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I might regret this, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let this try and trade higher here because we just left an unfinished auction. 130 might well reject, and I'm comfortable with that if it does, of not being in this. It's fine, but I think we actually have the ability to trade a little bit higher here for a minute. Oh, 130. Seller at 130. He's there again. He's there again. Like I said, I might regret it, but there we go. Comfortable with what I've made. Can we get a Lucid account? A free Lucid account today? Mate, the chances of that are basically slim to none after what I've fucking dealt with on stream. You answer me this, guys. You know how hard trading is, right? Imagine having to trade and teach and deal with people chatting shit. You reckon you could do it? Do you reckon you could do it? It's not easy. It's not easy. You get me up to 1,200. We'll do an Apex account. If you get me to 1,000, I'll give away a free introduction to trading. If you get me to 1,200, we'd give an Apex account. We're not doing a Lucid account. Not today. We have 15 minutes to lunch. So I'm up nice on the day. Apex accounts are up nice and juicy. Gonna have a 3K payout tonight on my take profit, which is nice. Not quite 3K, 2,500, I think. It's pretty good. I've made 3K, but I'm just thinking what's over the buffer. All right, so that, like I said, I might regret not selling 30. This might be the regret I have of not selling 30. Why 30? It's, again, reading order flow. Where was the seller? Right, he came in here, buyer caught the high, seller sold 30, pops to 30, probably failed. That's what we've just seen. I almost took it, and I was like, I'm not going to take it. I think we might want to go higher. Well, I might, and I even said out loud, I might regret not taking it. And there we go. Trading is about putting risk on at the right times. Sometimes I don't want to put risk on, especially I'm up now. 3, 4, 4.5, 5. 1.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, $9,000. how much more do I need to push? It's what you have to ask yourself. How much more do you need to push? We've had the low-hanging fruit of the day. What was the trade we were looking for today? The main trade we were looking for today in this session, right, is this trade here, right? This trade here. Failed follow through, failure downside, all right? We talk about it, all right? The only time I'm going to trade above is if we do a full reclaim. We didn't see that. What else did I say? Volatility up. So watch sizing, please, all right? Low-hanging fruit's gone. Do I trade live as well? Yeah, I trade my own account, but like when I trade my own account, I'm mainly in swing positions and I'm mainly playing ETFs and big caps or large caps, not just the mega caps, large caps. There is the odd small cap I will play, but very rare. 130 rejection again there, folks. That seller is without a doubt present up here right now. The only thing I'd say is we might need to clear out higher first. I just wonder if we need to come up towards 190, 180 to 200 first. But there is definitely a seller holding this market down at 30s. And semiconductors, what do we say is your over-under? For anyone that's watching and trying to learn, what is your over-under in the market today? It's PDC, which is what? This yellow line. All right, they just rejected it. All right, so just think about this. Market went green to red, tried to get back green, rejected it again. Follow through would be down here. Market will bleed. Market can hold this and have another go. This is the liquidity building out stage. That's why I'm like slightly more adverse to being risk on right now for the short, because we've had the easy move. And once we have the easy move, my understanding is that we have to build out liquidity and trap more players in. So if you took the 30 short and you covered the grey box and you're holding runners, you look pretty good. It's what I would wanted to try and do. Had one go at it and then stopped out and then it's done it. How do you size on your account? Guys, you shouldn't be well, you should size on your account, but you need to be sized based on your stop, right? Not on your account size. You size based on your stop. So today, right, how big was my stop here? It was 50 points. All right, so I can't size a mini in that, can I? Can't size a mini on that. Otherwise, I'm risking $1,000. I'm not sizing a mini in that. So I start small. And once we break down, I add in and I add in and I add in, because then I can bring my risk tighter. And that's why I tell you guys my stats are skewed. They're skewed. I say it all the time. What's your win rate? Between sort of 68 and 73%, but it's skewed because if I'm short here, small size, and it starts proving itself, and I add and I add and I add and I add, and then we come up and I take a break even +1 and I make, let's say I make, I don't know, $50 on it. All right, for me, that's a break even trade, but it will show as a win. It's skewed stats. They are skewed stats. That's me being honest. I take a lot of stops, guys. I take so many stops, but the difference is when I'm right, all right, I get this. And when I'm wrong, I lose that. When I'm right, even on a partial, we get this. And when I'm wrong, I lose that. All right. When I'm wrong, I lose that. When I'm right, I get this. And this isn't a one-off on stream. We get so many days in this market, because it's so volatile, we get 100+ point trades on stream. Do we not, regulars in stream? Do we not get 100 points so many times in this market together? I use hotkeys. That's how I execute fast. It's also why I don't like linking my charts together. For some reason, the hotkeys and affordable indicators do not like each other one bit. Last week when you got stopped 3 times in a row. Yeah. Even today, I got stopped numerous times. I was very close to being done, but because I was able to manage my risk, it was okay. All right. And now, you know, what does my table look like? Well, it looks like this. Right. So, like, it's fine.
It's not a big deal. Really is not a big deal. Do I use Ninja or TradingView for orders? Ninja Trader, mate. Alex, when you add on the winners, are you using market orders or always limit orders? Both, mate. Like where possible, limit orders. But like if I'm trading a breakdown, right? Let's say I'm short here, all right, and we start breaking down. Now I might have some limits here for a pullback in, but if it doesn't come, I will start being aggressive. If I see the order flow saying, "Hey, sellers are stepping in here," I think you would have heard me say it, like sellers joining. I'm in. Right, I'll start adding, and then here maybe I add on a pullback, and then if I start seeing, I'll try and add here. As long as I'm keeping my core position well above average price, I'm happy to continue to add into it all the time. It's proving itself to me. If you're short there again against 30s, you must be covering some in this grey box, right? Now, the buyers, I don't think the end of the auction's in. I think we trade lower today. I don't think the low of day's in. I really don't. I don't think there's a big enough orders sell side at the lower day. So I think you see a breakdown coming shortly for you guys. I really do. That's why I probably said I might regret not shorting those 30s. Here it comes, folks. So I think you're going to see a breakdown here. So I'd say all pops that fail, 110 to 100 again, probably can be sold into here. All right, so you should be covering, and then if they start failing, yeah, I think 87's another good spot here. I think you're going to see a new low of day. I'll see if I can get re-involved in this now. If I'm long, what do I suggest? Why are you long? Suggest you tell me why you're long. Why are you long and where are you long from? I don't know what else to say. Starting small depends on the account size, mate. Like if it's the 50Ks, starting smalls would be on M&Q, obviously. So I use affordable indicators now. On affordable indicators, there is a little tab where I can switch from mini to micro without changing the whole screen. So there's a tab that I can use. So we'll see how we trade into 87s here. I'm interested. If we reject 87s and the buyers just got caught again, which we sort of are, don't really want to get short in this node. I'd much rather a little pop up here for me to get involved somehow. Otherwise, if we trade under this node, I'll have another go at it. Yeah, semis, everything looks good. I just might much rather a pop up here for me to get involved in first. What's the indicator called? That's a good question. Hang on. It's whatever that main one on affordable indicators is. Enhanced Trader. It's part of the Enhanced Trader package. It's really good because it means you can chart on NQ and trade M&Q on the same chart, which is great when you're reading order flow. Now, occasionally you'll get stopped out because M&Q would do a move that NQ doesn't. Right? Occasionally that will happen. That's normal, but it does save having two charts up. What does it mean to fill in imbalance? It means to fill where one side of the auction was not balanced. So if you understand how an auction operates, right, if we just think about this, give me a second here because I might take this trade here if the pops fail here. I'm just watching very, very carefully as we trade into 110s through the 87s. High low held there versus 160 on SOXL. I'm just going to watch if we come 110 and fail. So I'm watching 90s and 110 here. If we fail 110, I'm interested. All right, I'm small risk on. Playing with house money now.
if we reclaim 110, we're probably going to go straight up to 150. So if 110 fails, and certainly if we can get sell pressure underneath 85, it's a very, very hard trade this for continuation at lows. Very, very risky. So I'm extra small size, but all the time we're seeing sell pressure here. I want to be involved. Here we go. So need a new low down here now. But good pressure versus 90s, good pressure in front of 110s. And we're going to target 900 now. So we can get another 100 points here from this current short if we let go. And do you know what? I'm going to move my stop break even straight away. I'm not going to give this room. We've got to break under this current low. And there are some zero prints, 922s, and then yeah, sub 29,000. I think we can get there. I don't think the auction's finished at the low, so I'm looking for lower prices. But like I said, stops in. If we reclaim 89s, I'm done. We'll see if we can break down. These are the targets down here, and then blue box if we got very lucky. 900 ideally. 29,000, sorry. Slippage between counts when copying. I'd say anything over 5, you'll start seeing slippage. I find with 10 and over, it can be a real pain in high volatility. When it's low volatility, it's fine. Value's at 160. Value's way higher, mate. It's all the way up here. 195 for me. Let me check NinjaTrader. Yeah, 195 for value if it's going to check value. Way up here. We're looking for this move down here at the moment. We're short, looking for this move down here. We were originally short from here, trying another go here, and I'll eat the stop break even. Like I said, if we start breaking through 90 here, that's fine. There is an unfinished auction if it does want to come higher, but like I'm looking for downside pressure. Don't do the lower days in. Do I look at London high and low? Yeah, I'd consider it sometimes. Like today we traded towards Asia high, London high and failed. We didn't sweep it. Look, I look at it, but it's not the most important thing to me. I'm about to stop out here. All right, out of this. That might be me done because we're into lunch. Right, what was it one of you said? Right, the imbalance. So if we think about how an auction works, right, if these are your buyers and these are your sellers, this here would be the spread, right? Right, that's the spread. Now, if this buyer is desperate to buy, right, these are all limits and these are limits, right? So limit sells, limit buys. If a market buyer comes in here and let's say he buys a 500 lot, big lot, right? Who's the first person that he can buy from, right? He has to buy from someone who's actually there. The first person he buys from is this seller here, all right? So if that seller has 100 and this seller has 50, and this seller has 50, and this seller has 100, well, up to what, 300, and this seller has 200, right? We'll have all buy sides skip. You go boom, 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 boom. Now in here, nothing will take place. That'd be a 0, right? Because no one was willing to sell down there. The first seller was willing to sell here. And remember, this guy hit a market. And we will fill all of these, right? Which means it would be a huge imbalance. Like this is what you're seeing in here now, all right? You're seeing a very aggressive buyer come in on the tape and price going to start skipping up, right? And complete this auction, which is unfinished at 38 probably, all right? Now, this is where you've seen a market buyer come flying in and say, hey, I want to buy X amount. Now, the amount he actually said he wanted to buy was 193 lot. I can literally show you right here. Let's get you over here. It's a good example. Not that. Where's Bookmap, right? This guy here, right? So he came flying in and he smashed this here a couple of times, 57 and 84. So he went buy, 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 buy. These are market orders, right? And price just skipped. All right, because he bought so many, we have to fill the limits above. Well, there was no limits in here, so we jump. Price jumps up. What's the first thing price does is jump up? It tries to fill the void left. All right, the void left is the little imbalance, which is in here. Right? So once we skip up, we fill it, and then we move higher again. And we're probably going to do the same thing here in a bit. Look at all these big market orders. We're going to leave imbalances in here. Right? It's where price will start skipping and skipping and skipping and skipping. It doesn't mean we come back for it straight away. That's literally how the auction works. It's when we jump. It's when we skip through price. And that's all about aggressive orders, right? An engulfing bar is basically a very more than likely, not necessarily guaranteed, but more than likely a series of aggressive orders that look like this, right? So if you imagine an engulfing bar here, like we're coming back into this imbalance. No way we're coming back to fill some of this in, right? No way. If we look at that on the chart, coming back to fill some of this in. If you looked at that on order flow, I'll get you in here, right? You can see this move up was one-sided, wasn't it? We've got some zeros in here. All right, that's where a big buyer's come in and we've skipped price. And we're going to come back in because the market likes to be efficient and fill some of this in. So any of the limit orders who didn't get filled because a market buyer came in, they have now the ability to limit buy in here, all right, and try and force price up again. I think I've done there's a video, Harry, for my footprint chart settings in TradingView. It's for free on my YouTube. There's a free video for it if you do want to learn. Are the imbalances what people call fair value gaps? Yes, they are. But what you need to understand is fair value gaps are great for beginners, right? And that's not being an asshole. Like seeing like an imbalance, like all these things are great. But there's not necessarily actually an imbalance in there all the time. And also there can be an imbalance in here, which you can't see using a fair value gap, right? Because it's all, like I just explained to you, it's buyers and sellers in an auction where price skips because you get an aggressive player fill one side. That's what causes the imbalance. That can still happen in here sometimes, all right? It can leave little imbalances. I'll see if I can find any on the chart right now. For example, we've just filled one here, which you wouldn't be able to see. So there's a sell side imbalance here, which we've just come and filled, right? There's buy side imbalances here, where if you're using fair value gaps, you wouldn't be able to see, right? But there are buy side imbalances down there. Why? Well, look at this, where this big buyer came in, jumped price. Do we have any higher? Yes, we have another sell side imbalance up here, just above value area low, and another one above. Now, why has that occurred? It's occurred because participants in here started aggressively selling away, right? We moved away fast, right? Which means all the passive players, they didn't get filled, right? So when we come back up there, maybe they're likely to fill. So we might come back up to here, value area low. We might come back up to this low volume node, right? And maybe then we sell down from there. Maybe we don't. Maybe we reclaim value because we've hit the low hanging fruit and we trade up for the rest of the day. But also very possible. Very possible. Definite W shape here. Definite sellers would want to protect this. All right. But if they hold and they reclaim value, then we kind of keep going up. Remember, low hanging fruit's hit. What did we say for the short? If you took 30, you have to pay yourself into this grey box, right? Why? Because we built out volume. I don't think this auction at the low looks very good. Doesn't mean we can't come back for it another time, but we respected this, right? And they bid out. We took our stop, like you would have seen me said, eat the stop, and now we're coming to this. Sellers have a choice here. They literally have a choice here. Are they going to defend this? And can they force this back down here? If they can't, all right, then there's sufficient liquidity being built out here now. No, value area has nothing to do with VWAP. What do I use for footprint? I use Spectre Pro, which is a flow zone indicator. You can get it on the website. There's plenty of other tools. If you don't want to use mine, that's fine. That's what I use. That, and I use Bookmap. All right, so this low volume node so far being respected, and buyers are trying to bid this. The battle is sellers trying to sell this, buyers trying to hold the print here. And again, low hanging fruits hit. That might be me done for the day, especially after an emotional morning of being pushed and pushed and pushed and poked in chat until I responded, and you see me push back against people who are assholes. So, you know, didn't quite hit my 5-figure day, but we got close. No, I'm not buying. Again, for me, there isn't really much of a reason to buy. You would be buying counter trend. Right, let's just start off. Like, I'm going to do this one more time so you guys understand, even though we did it at the start of the day. Right. We are under high volume node here. Every buyer, other than the buyers down here in June, are now underwater. The majority of 3 months worth of buying is now underwater. We didn't want to sell down here towards value area low or the low Bollinger. The plan today was to sell up here and cover here. That's the plan. If we get a break lower, it's going to come later this week or next week, right? Because we're going to see this and then this if we're truly going to break lower and do this. Okay. I do not want to be a buyer when I can quite clearly see people are stuck above me. It's just a no-go. We move to the hourly. Where's last week's volume? Okay. Last week's volume is stuck here. How about the week before? Okay, it's stuck here. Where did we open today? Somewhere around here. We pushed up to here. Yeah? Where's yesterday's volume? Yesterday's volume is here. Okay, so today when we opened up here, who's stuck? Are yesterday's buyers in the money? No. Are last week's buyers in the money? No. Are the week before that's buyers in the money? No. How about the week before that? Are they in the money? No. How about the week before that? No. How about the week before that? No. So why do I want to buy here? Why? For the person that's like, look at the H1, it's a buy. No. That's why I said to you, now I know that you can't read a chart. Right? So that's telling me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, at least 6 weeks, probably more than 6 weeks, probably 7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. All right, 8 weeks of buyers are currently under pressure. So if there's 8 weeks of buyers under pressure, what do I want to be in the market? I want to be a seller. Where do I want to sell? At the best possible area to give me the best RR. What was that area today? Well, for me, it was previous days value area low right here, which is now current week's point of control. It was also the pain point. All right. Support became resistance. All right. It was the pain point. So I wanted to sell up here and target this. Now runners, great if they got there, but the low hanging fruit was this. This is a bid back up. It can still be sold. When do I become a buyer again? I will become a buyer in this market when they confirm a reclaim of this for this drive here, and certainly if they reclaim previous weeks. Otherwise, this is a counter trend opportunity. This is the hardest buy that you can have in the book, which can definitely get his door smacked in your face again. It doesn't mean it does, but I would rather buy with strength once it proves. That's just how I operate, because every push can be sold into. Now, lower time frame, is there an opportunity? Yeah, if like we pull this down, we talked about this W. If they hold the W, there's your W. If they hold this, they can try and traverse through value. They can try and get to 250. They can even try and come all the way up to previous day value area low again. But until we reclaim that, all right, all that I know is 8 weeks worth of buyers are stuck. And that's what I respect. I respect who's trapped in the market. I'm not trying to do the hero trade. I'm not a whale. I can't move this market. So my job is to, remember, our job as traders is just to make money. It's not to be right. It's not to be right. I knew this. Great. Did you make money? No. Then you suck at trading. Right? It's like saying, I'm taking a penalty in the World Cup. You shoot, you miss. I knew I should have put it there. Do you win a World Cup for knowing something after the fact? Or do you win for taking the right trade and managing your risk, right? It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is the P&L in your account at the end of the day. That's all that matters, right? So the easiest trades are the trades that I want to focus on. The pro trend trades. The easiest trade today, and they made it bloody hard. The easiest trade today was previous day value area low. It's hard to see there. Fails back down towards 29,100. That was our main target today, if you remember, right? That was the easiest trade today. The hardest trade today is going to be this trade back up here. And maybe the easier trade tomorrow, if they do want to print this back up, might be this. All right. I'm willing to play that tomorrow. Not willing to look at that right now. How do I recover, reset after having a bad day? First thing you want to do is get off the charts, my friend. Get off the charts. Second thing you want to do is just remember the market's going to be here tomorrow. All right? You've got to eat losses. You have, like, this whole idea that someone is supposed to be right 100% of the time and the market's going to do exactly what they want all the time is stupid. It is a fucking moronic thing to expect or think. I'm a decent trader. By no means am I the best trader in the world. But even the best traders in the world will eat losses, all right? If it was that fucking easy, we'd all be billionaires, right? I'm sorry to be like assertive here, but like this whole expectation that 100% right, 100% right, no, right? Learn to lick your wounds, eat your losses, eat your losses, eat your losses, let your winners work. All right, that's the difference between a trader who can compound gains and a trader who wants to pick bottoms and thinks they're right and has an ego and blah, 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 but never makes money, right? Doesn't matter. Trading is about managing risk. That's all it's about. So once you've learned that, you'll understand that the market would be here tomorrow, it'd be here in the next trade, it'd be here in a week, it would be here in a month. It will just be here. Look, who was that? Jarwanen. Exactly, mate. You can be right and lose. I think I was right here, wasn't I? I was looking for failures to trade down here. I took maybe 3 or 4 trades here and lost, or took break evens, or took tiny wins, right? But eventually, we got this chunk and we got this chunk, right? And it was worth taking small losses here, trying to position for the move. It was worth it. Would I look for a position here? Well, I haven't seen the news. You guys are all saying Trump's talking, so let's see what he's saying. Talking about NATO at the moment. We'll see whether we can keep oil down. I mean, don't look like it right now, does it? It's 7% up.
I mean, it's hard to talk. It's hard to do much of these talking, but I would say these are the same levels, right? Here to 250. Right now, if you're going to be short here, you now need to respect that buyers have taken control of this area. So you'd need to be covering some into this. Now, if buyers can't defend 144s, 145s, 150s, then you see bigger downside pressure. But I'd say sellers now, they have to defend this. Buyers, they will want to absorb this and do this move. They want to rotate value. I'm less interested in general in trading in this, right? This is the slop. Remember, we hit our targets. I'm going to remind you, what was the target? It was 100, right? What was the initial balance expansion? We hit it. We've done it, right? 100. We've done it. We've done everything we wanted. Anything else was a bonus. For me, I don't even think I'll trade this afternoon. I think I'll just let this do whatever it is it needs to do, because also on a daily, right, we came to lower bowl. Now, all the time we're outside this on a daily, sell side pressure. Inside this, we go back into this range, right? So at the moment, sell side pressure. We reclaim, back into range chop, we go upside, upside relief. All right, any questions before I go, folks? Did we get there on the likes? I should check that because I almost forgot. Did we get there on the likes? No, didn't even get to 1,000. Look at that. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. People just want to come here, take everything for free, wind me up, and then leave. It's amazing. Charting, yeah, you can join now if you want. Just go to if you go to the end of the beginner to advanced course, just follow the instructions there. Willy Wonka still not getting my newsletter. Willy, can you email me, please? If you check your spam, just email me info@flowzonetrader.com. I'll have a quick look. Can I check silver? I mean, what is it you want to know? It's never coming up here ever again. We've talked about that. Can it do that? You're undervalued since this move. You're rejecting reclaim of value. You're going to keep auctioning lower, mate, until this thing's done. 50 is very, very possible right now. There's no upside swing in this until there's a reclaim of 65s. And like I said, this is a hedge. This was a hedge tool when everything was going on. You know, what's happened in the dollar. I've talked about it numerous times. You can see what I'm looking for. There we go. Right. This happens. Remember, when we were doing this, right, Asia markets were selling US equities and USD, and they were buying gold. All right, and then silver caught a bid off that. Now we're breaking out. We're going to see the opposite. All right, if this holds the breakout on the dollar, which at the moment it looks like it's doing, we're going to see downside pressure. That can change. That's just how the market works. Did you hear about China removing silver and gold to find out the true value of metals? No, I haven't read anything about that. Hey, you just got me my first payout. Grateful. You teach us. Nice work, dude. How many likes now? 963 from what I can see. Oh, 1,000. So you're still 200 short of an Apex giveaway. We can give away a free beginner course, though. The thing is, guys, like, it's not just one person. There was lots of you this morning who just start. You get your knickers in a twist, right? Because the market does this for a little bit, and you start getting your knickers all in a twist, and it's like people just need to calm down. Because once I closed the chat, it's funny how I like traded so much like cleaner and better and calmer. Like, people are so abusive. You're so abusive, and if you abuse me, I'm going to abuse you back. You better get used to it, because I'm not some fucking weak person who's going to sit here and tolerate it. I'll tell you to stick it and I'll ban you. And if you keep coming back with a new username, I'll still tell you to stick it and I'll ban you. I couldn't give a fuck, right? And that's my personality. I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care about your feelings if you want to be like that. That's just me being true. Sorry. If you don't like it, you don't have to subscribe or be here. That's also absolutely fine by with me. Any advice on trading drawdown? I can't seem to get through it time and time again. Yeah, Brad, I mean, the best thing to do is slow down, man. Like, trailing drawdown will hurt you when you're oversized, right? If you're oversized because your P&L swing, right? Let's just say you're oversized here. Here, for whatever example. So we push up 40 points and we pull back, right? If you're oversized there, you're going to be hurt. If you're size small there, this won't hurt you, and you can afford to then let this drift. Same here. It's all about sizing. You have to slow down in trailing drawdown phases and take your time. Stop trying to make too much money too quick. Close the day for 30 minutes a day. Yeah, I might start doing that. Why do we V-shape these days? Well, because first of all, we're still technically in a range. Second of all, because Trump's talking. Third of all, because options are having a big play. And fourth of all, because what's dictating the market right now? What's just happened? What was our over-under? PDC, right? What's just happened on semis? Rejected, reclaimed, squeezed through PDC. What did I say? This is your sentiment for the day. PDC is your sentiment for the day. Right? Semis are ruling the market right now. It is all about this trade here. Right now, they're finding a bid. It's a dead cat bounce bid. Still in a range, but like, right? People are going to be willing to bid down here. We've already pulled back. It's on the wrong chart. We've already pulled back 50%. There we go. There we go. All right, 150, huge put wall we hit yesterday. Remember, we've already pulled back 50% from the breakout. Think about this. Here's your breakout from March. We've already pulled back 50% and under. All right, so this is a battle now. Technically speaking, you would say this is a safe area probably to bid on, all right, for relief in this market for semis. All right, so that's why you're going to start seeing people start to try and bid this up. Doesn't mean it can't come down here, but it's very probable that we'll see some kind of move, unless the whole market starts to puke in alignment. So that's why, because when semis start going, the rest of the market starts following. If you're a buyer today now, you need to protect 86, and really you'd rather protect sort of 215s, 200s here. I tilted, went 90% drawdown, went long at 2,900 and got it all back. More ashamed of myself. Biggest thing is mental. Just get off the desk for the rest of the day. If you go on red to green, you need, just get off. Just completely get off. Don't try and make any more money. Reassess it. Reassess why you went in that much drawdown. Probably added to a loser, or you didn't cut it. Do I always execute using ATM strategy? Yeah, most of the time. Not when I'm copy trading. That's how I get in trouble. Well, not when I'm copy trading more than 10 accounts. Nothing worse than going red to green to red. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you've gone red to green, you want to just walk away and just come back another day. So that's the market letting you out.
All right, seeing as some of you being nice, let's give away an Apex account. Code FZT, just type it once. We'll pick a winner. Please don't spam. All right, right back to previous stage value. If you reclaim that, can't rule out a rotation if they get very bullish. All right, let's pick this winner. Where's it gone? Here it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dart the Frog 5404. Recognize that name. That's definitely a regular. Dart the Frog. Let me know you're here in chat, mate. Yeah, nice one, man. All right, just send me an email, please, buddy. info@flowzonetrader.com. Screenshot of you logged in, and I'll sort you out with a free Apex account. Iran, Trump now suddenly talking about Iran. Just be careful, folks. The Iran war's a tremendous success. Iran wants to make a deal, but they don't know how. All right, shut up, mate. Shut your mouth. The same fucking bullshit rhetoric forever. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to trade this afternoon. Well, that's it for me. That was too much stress for me to really want to trade. Those in Discord, I will pop in now and set you up for this afternoon, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. You know the score. Use hard stops. Be careful. All that good stuff. I'll see you tomorrow morning in stream. Peace and love, everyone. Take care.